I did. Looks very nice.
Testing our broadcast.
No.
L.
L?
Nice glasses.
L?
Yeah.
We're live. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Ish. Soon to be, at least for the East Coast. Looks like you guys got half an hour left. Let's check everything, see if we're going 5 by 5. Probably created 5 streams. We know how this thing goes.
Yep.
It never gets it right.
Yep.
Oh.
One moment, please.
So how's everyone doing this evening?
I'm doing
Amazing.
fantabulous.
I don't see a video.
I don't either. I saw one, but then it disappeared.
Oh, there we are.
There it is.
Let's check everything, see if we're going 5 by 5. See if there's anyone chatting. Hello, we got Joseph.
I can't write these.
Ace Fire from Colorado Springs. Quentin Cave. Joseph Hulk. Happy New Year's. Lovely glasses. I'm glad somebody does.
Yes. It's,
It's
very
not
hard
me.
to see out of them.
Alright, let's move that to live chat. Pop it out.
Popping out.
Alright. Everyone sit tight real quick. I'm going to just make sure there isn't a second live stream going. And there sure is.
Oh. Oh. There is a second one. Hi. Hi. I don't know which one you can hear us on.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm going to keep you all entertained. Happy New Year. Ish.
That's right. Happy
Kind
New
of.
Year.
Sometime.
It's going to be Happy New Year.
We also have the Happy New Year cowbell right here. Amazing. I know. I'm going to be the cowbell master. Obviously.
Oh, wow.
I've been
Everybody cover yours now.
How do I kill this live stream?
I have no idea.
Stream options in the card.
I don't know.
Schedule next live stream.
Bueller.
Does that do it?
Hello.
Your changes are being saved. We'll see what that does. Alright, let's go back to the other one.
Donna. Hey.
Hey, they made it here. Yay, 2 streams. I know, it does it every time. Hey, the good news is that the thing is working. Okay, I can't do this.
No.
I
Oh,
can't either. I hate
We're
them.
going to put it on like when it gets a little closer.
we are?
Yeah.
Fine. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I see you. You're only here for the chocolates.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Guys, whoa.
Mark Thomas from Australia.
Hi.
Is it already 2020 there?
It's already 2020.
It's already 2020.
Oh,
Happy New
2020.
Year!
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
He's like, it's been that all day.
Mm-hmm. Which part of Australia? West Coast, East Coast?
Ace Fire said we missed his $2 chat on Sunday. How are the Harbor Freight dash cams?
You know what?
I'm really sorry.
I'm going to ring the bell for you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Happy New
really
Year.
loud. That's okay. You don't have to yell.
Well, they have to hear me somewhere.
What you
though.
doing with that?
Nothing.
Just coveting it?
Yes.
As you can see, the box is unopened as of yet.
Pristine.
I'm going to be doing 4 dash cams review. So you can compare the one that I currently use, that I've done other videos with, that we've used for a lot of the or the drives down the strip and such. So, unfortunately, I can't really say at this point.
Can you go get
I
my
can't say
phone,
that the
Ollie?
price came down to a more reasonable level.
Can you go get my phone, Ollie Bell?
Where is it?
Dong Fang just subscribed. I thought he was subscribed before. DR Falcons in the house. Barbecue 76. Maybe you'll still be going when I get off work.
Aww.
We're planning to go fairly late tonight, so
And thank you again for that lovely picture.
let me turn this so we can see you a little better.
Yes. And this hat is redonkulous.
Yes,
It's
yes,
doing
it is.
great things for my hair.
The well, here I should put on one of these.
Yes, those are
We'll
much
see about
better.
that.
Ow!
You could look like a fairy princess in this.
Oh, so can
Maybe you can get it open.
Yeah, we can
I
both
can't
be
do it.
fairy princesses
Yay!
together.
Let's see here.
Sorry for those not interested.
Here,
in
I've
the
got 2020
ASMR.
vision jokes, and I'm out. Yeah, I've already been. I've already got this queued up.
Let's see which one Dad wants to wear, because I don't think he wants to wear pink.
How does the second stream happen? It happens because we use a piece of software called Streamlabs OBS that that is secondary to YouTube. And we do the schedule live stream in YouTube to let you guys know that there's going to be one. But it doesn't, it actually starts there's no video, but there's chat. So you get like 20, 30 people sitting in chat waiting for the stream to start, and then the stream starts over here. It's like a bunch of people waiting outside of one room, and then the wrong room opens up.
Yeah. I feel like a narwhal or a unicorn or something. Like, does it need to be on the side? Okay.
Yeah, apparently my head's too big.
Oh my gosh. Don't worry.
That's how you get out of that.
Here you go.
All right, let's see.
I'll wear a pink one. Everyone wants to...
Are the Cubs going to be able to stay up until midnight? Yes, they are able to. We're allowing them to. She's going to be passed out on the floor by...
It's broken.
In the next 2 hours, if that.
By she, he means Eleanor,
yes.
not me.
Yeah, maybe you too.
Okay.
Maybe.
There we go.
I feel like the symmetry, it needs to be going the other way. Oh, yes. It looks fabulous.
Yeah.
We're going to, like, the stock for this product is going to go through the roof after this one. Yeah, okay.
There we go.
We're coming to you from medieval plague avoidance products. You know, like the beak. We're trying to not get
None of this looks good.
Except for us.
Tim says, howdy from Alabama. And don't cross those streams. I'm only going to tell you all one last time this decade. Love you all. Thank you so much. Yeah, I keep forgetting it's the end of the decade as well.
Yep.
How to tell my slightly late Christmas joke. What does Santa do in his garden? I
have
he ho ho hos.
Oh. What does he do?
He ho ho hos.
Oh, that's hilarious. Ha 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 ha. Okay, this does not look good in the front.
Little cowbell. It's like a cowbell / clacker thing they got for New Year's. Did you break yours too?
Yeah.
Nice. Quality here from Dollar Tree.
Quality. It's from the 99 cent.
Oh, the
only
99
store.
cent only store. Super cheap. Let's see here.
I think I'm gonna go.
Tough party to get into. Yeah. And
it's a unicorn.
Let's see here. So you planning to go the distance tonight? Are you? Yeah. When I finally get to go home, I'll have a drink with you. I don't even have anything to do. Well, I got soda. I don't have any. I'm not drinking anything alcoholic tonight. I got too much to do this week. Go buy new cowbells from Harbor Freight. We had one of those. That's the one that Brad's Workbench gave us. Mm-hmm. And Jim says, I agree with Tecton, as my Tecton and Carlisle Taiwan ratchets are smoother and thinner than my SO dual 80s and way better value. Yeah, Jim's talking about the video I just did on the top 10 items, top 10 tools for 2019. Elgin, Texas in the house. Wolfie says, not exactly a true cowbell, but things are getting closer to the real deal. Nice.
Ace Fire. Hello. Oh, donated $2.
Just right there on your phone.
Okay, but I'm not looking at my phone. Oh, wow.
Happy New Year.
Okay, this is cutting
Happy
into my
New
head.
Year's. Hope this year is great for y'all. Thank you so much. It will be.
Everyone, listen.
See, if it was a little smaller, we could put it on the microphone.
No.
Then the microphone could be festive.
He's named Wendy's because I robbed Wendy's with him, even though he's not an alligator, but he'll have to work.
Do you remember where that came from?
She's referring to a story in the news where some Florida guy robbed a Wendy's with an alligator.
And this guy,
oh yeah,
this guy came home to us with us from Montana. We had some friends who were sad that we were leaving, so they wrapped this around the
gas cap.
So when I went and got gas, I started laughing hysterically, and all the bikers that were next to me could not figure out if I'd lost my mind or not until I pulled a snake out of my gas tank, and then they all started laughing too.
Shadow's Edge. Hey, I'm still waiting for the dash cam and that Blackview showed at CES 2019 to be officially announced and released. The 4-channel dash cam. Oh, that would be cool. And Matt Pradaski says, Happy New Year, Tool Bear family. Happy New Year. We need a timer set up. Hold on. Moto's actually
Can I
dead.
bring the wagon out here so I can
How is
sit in the
Moto
wagon?
dead? It charged all day.
Yay, Moto won't be. Oh, dang it! I thought Moto would be quiet.
No.
As you guys know,
Let's see here. Connor says, love the channel. Thank you so much. Rodman says, I didn't have a chance to research Estwing. Are they available at any big box stores or online only? Oh no, they're a pretty well known hammer. You can get them probably at most big box stores. I'm not sure if there's some sort of brand deal between, like it's at Home Depot or not. Lowe's. I haven't paid attention. I know that they're there. I know they're at one of them, and you can get them at most other hardware stores. They're a pretty popular brand. Bear One says, I don't know if you saw my emails, but warning on that U.S. General Worktail, real pain in the pelt to assemble by self-tapping screws to help. Oh, yeah. You know, I just saw those emails. I've been spending a bunch of time with the Cubs here. And if you notice, we haven't been putting out a lot of videos. I've been trying to spend, the holidays here. They got time off from school. Started to spend it with the Cubs. Anyway, and you.
Nice.
And, but anyway, yeah, I'm going to get back to you. I'm not surprised about that. Any of those kind of like assemble yourself kind of things, they're always kind of tricky. Danny says, have a happy new year. Love your channel. Thank you so much. Vicious Assassin, hey, how's it going? Happy New Year's to everyone in the Bear family. Going to go watch it from the Roku. I don't blame you. That's the way to watch it. Ronald says, for you people don't know, when Jeff put on the cone in front of his mouth, his wife said, welcome to the plague. That was the doctor's. Nice. Yep. The old plague doctor costumes. Where's the bear? The bear gets weekends and holidays off. He's
lazy.
He doesn't like to do the live streams. That's the way talent is when it comes to this sort of thing. He makes you pick all the, the green picnic baskets out. He doesn't eat any of the red ones. That sort of thing. He's very she. Anyone born in 1989 has lived through 5 different decades, 2 millennia, and 2 centuries, and is only 30 to 31. So that's too funny. I didn't think about that. I'm more than a little bit older than that. Let's see here. TNT Rock confirms that Estwing is at Lowe's, so we know that. And let's see here. Dale's in the house. Yeah. Hello from Northern California. Looking for ratcheting tubing wrenches. Any suggestions? Ratcheting tubing wrenches. You're talking about like a line wrench? I've never heard it referred to like that. And if you're asking that, then no, I have. If you're asking for a ratcheting line wrench, I've never used any. I just used regular wrenches.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, Rowdy says he bought the Harbor Freight answer to the Estwing. I'm curious, what do you think of it? Have you used Estwing, and then what do you think of the Harbor Freight version? Charles says, in the garage with my new whetstone and sharpening antique sweethearts. Oh, wow. That sounds like a good time. Josh Stuckey says, I've been using my DeWalt batteries with a couple of my Ryobi tools with a third-party adapter. So far, working well, and Happy New Year. I'd be interested to do a test on that. Maybe we can add that to the whole battery thing we got going on. Bear One says, I found an interesting drill bit company. Maybe something you can look at. They're called Drill Hog. They're an American-made, don't know if global materials or not, with lifetime warranty. Hold on, let me jot that down here. One moment, please. I looked this up. All right. Drill Hog. I will look into them.
That looks cool.
It looks familiar. Maybe it's just that cup thing. Maybe somebody else does it. I feel like I got a whisker in my snout. Hipsters and hippies sending the best. Oh, I can read. Sure I can. Sending the best New Year wishes to your family from ours. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I hope everything is going well for you guys. Let's see here. You always want a forever guarantee, not a lifetime guarantee.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use a lot of fun with that whole lifetime thing, don't they? Here's my New Year's joke. I haven't taken a shower since last year. D-Diz, favorite hammer is S-Twing, carpal tunnel that has a tuning fork in the handle.
Ooh,
Nice.
Sorry.
New Year's East Coast is roughly 14 minutes away.
I just set timers. That's what I was doing.
And rushing fast. Debbie Cutter, first of all, Happy New Year to you and Mrs. Bear and all the Cubs. I'll be bringing in the New Year's with the best. There you go. Let's see here. Matt says, I have a 30-year-old... By the way, everyone, it seems like we got a lot of new people in here. I have a tendency to ramble. I don't know, maybe if you've noticed. She can talk forever if you let her. And anyway, as you see up here at the top, it says, please type at the Den of Tools. Because in the chat window for us, it actually shows up like that. So I know you're chatting to us and not just chatting amongst yourselves. So I only read the ones that say that. Because if I read everything, I wouldn't get a quarter of the way through the chat messages. And I do try to respond to everything. So also, please don't spam comments because I have the memory of a goldfish and I will read it and I'll respond to it. And 5 minutes later, I'll see your comment again and I'll think, didn't I just see that? Mm-hmm. And I'll respond to it again. It's all sorts of fun. And let's see here. Matt says, I have a 30-year-old Craftsman hammer back when they had really good hardwood handles. No one uses that baby but me. There's a great company for ordering custom or replacement hickory handles. And I can't remember the name of it, but I've ordered some stuff from them before, and I've been real happy with them. I'll have to look that up. Maybe I should do a video on those guys. Richard Wolf says, I was told each battery company operates on a different sine wave, and crossing batteries is foolish except on brushless tools. I would say... Okay, I'm going to have to check my notes on this, but I would think of all things, brushless would be worse. Because there's more electronics in that, and sine wave would be more important. Because usually with the more delicate the electronics, the more important the sine wave alignment is. But, hey, maybe some of you know more than I do. The real issue is the way that the onboard chips control the discharge and heat regulation of the battery. Some of them don't. It's usually the less expensive tools can use those kind of adapters. Charles McBride says $5 for a set of 6 Sweethearts chisels at an estate sale. I feel terrible when people just give away family heirlooms like that. I know. I bought a whole set of carving, like hand carving kind of tools and chisels and stuff. And I think I paid $2 for the whole thing. That's what I always say when people sit there and they tell me, and I hate to shoot down people's dreams, but a lot of people justify when they're going to buy stuff like Snap-on and whatnot. They're going, well, that's something I'm going to own that I'm going to pass on to my children and their children and their children. Like, you've obviously never been to an estate sale. Because most times the kids don't follow in the parents' footsteps. And certainly not the grandchildren. And they're not going to keep a whole set of tools as, a family heirloom. I'm sorry, but I know a lot of people who are into tools, and I know very few people whose kids are like, yay, I can't wait to get into tools. My Cubs, they like using tools, but it's not a passion for any of them. Maybe that will change, but, I don't know.
I can see them when they get older, but yeah, like sometimes in families, like it really, like the gene really is there strong, and like the kid is there, like. But
that's the strong minority, and right. Companies like Snap-on market like you're gonna pass this on to your kids. I'm like, hopefully your kids are gonna have a better job and make more money, and
Yep.
I don't know.
I can think of one family that we know where I could see that going like that, but in general, I think you're right.
Who's that?
Phil and Clark.
Maybe.
Yep.
Maybe. Yeah, people don't generally pass down welders quite like that.
No, but I mean, he's out in the, anytime his dad's doing something,
Yes.
he's out in there.
Yes, he is.
Helping or making it more difficult, But there's tools involved.
Yeah. Sorry. Wild tangent there. Did you guys watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer when it was on originally? No, I did not.
I think I kind of
She may
did.
have watched a little bit of it. I did know there was a great drinking game to go along with it.
There is?
Every time she adjusts her bra, you have to drink.
Oh, don't know anything about that.
What's the best bang for the buck in planers? The Harbor Freight Bauer planer, when it's on sale for $250, you're not going to find anything close. All those, what they call lunchbox style planers, where the two sides fold up and looks like a lunchbox, if you look at them, they're almost all identical. The only real difference I've seen between them is that some of them have 2 posts that connect across the top, so it's like a more rigid box, and some have a single post. So you want a 2-post system, and the Bauer is one. Other than that, they're almost all identical, and you really need to step up to that high-end DeWalt that runs for about $500 if you want to get a legit, really good hobby kind of planer. But for a good enough planer, the Bauer is, because there's the Bauer, there's the Delta, there's Porter Cable, there's Craftsman, everybody makes one. They're almost all identical. Just get the cheapest one. The cheapest one I found is the Bauer. And it's actually not a bad one.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. I think Drill Hog sells mostly on eBay. I have one set, and they do give out replacements if they break. Thanks, Jim, for the update on that. And let's see here. David Anderson is 10 minutes away. Any word, Acefire asks, from Deep Freight on coupons for Hercules 5.0? Just picked up the Impact today. I have not heard anything about coupons on that. I think we're going to see a whole fresh new slew of things come 2020. So we're going to have to see how that goes. Donna Ross says, Ricky and Steve are both snoring already.
I know. I saw that comment.
Partying strong.
It just made me giggle because that's kind of... I party like a rock star just like that. I'm unconscious.
Shadow's Edge. Remember, everyone, if you can write in cursive, to practice using it for late age code language to get past your caretakers.
I was telling my mom about the millennial anti-theft card
device. I love that.
She thought that was hilarious. She almost fell out of her chair. She was laughing so hard.
Albert says, thinking polymer nails could possibly be a good solution for work holding with a router. Any experience with them, or do I really... no experience with those whatsoever. Donna Russ says, by the way, Jeff, you spelled category wrong repeatedly. That's not true. I spelled it wrong once, and then I copied and pasted it.
Repeatedly.
So,
what we learned from this is he's consistent.
I am. And a terrible speller. I mean, it was a typo. And don't forget to order a pizza around midnight and tell them they are a decade late. Oh, do you get it for free?
No, it's literally hilarious.
It's literally hilarious.
I've watched so many things.
It's literally not.
It's
literally staged. There's no pizza guy who would fall for that. Okay, maybe there's a few. Let's see here. Sean McAllister says, hey, Jeff and wife, Happy New Year. Thank you so much. Happy New Year to Barrett family. Jimmy Tom says. Jim says you can buy Estwing at their store online. You can find a special hammer, like a chipping hammer locally and stuff. I did talk to them at they were at SEMA. Great folk. And some really cool tools. In fact, they offered to give me some for free to take back for evaluation. Except I didn't, they said I had to pick it up the last day of the show, and I didn't go the last day of the show. Because I was tired. The new Senko 21-gallon nailer. Go get it. Half the size of the 18-gauge nails. Or 21-gauge, 21-gallon. Oh, I'm so out of it. The Senko does make good nailers. They do. And let's see here. Katie 2RDH, Larry, we'll just call you Larry. Never told anyone that I wanted a power hand planer. I got a Porter Cable one for Christmas. I was blown away. The best $0 I ever spent.
So who got it for you?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah, the Porter Cable, like the planers, the routers, the oldish school. They're not like old school. They're not bad. They're different. They're entirely different than the cordless stuff that they do under the Porter Cable brand. The one thing I do have to say is that I was at Lowe's, which has a lot of the stationary tools from Porter Cable, and they...
3 minutes.
I'm just worried my phone is
On
not wanting to turn on.
crack sandwiches.
But like I looked at the bandsaw that they had. That used to be okay at $400. It's getting close to $600. They've really jacked the price. That's got to be tariffs doing that, or they just don't care. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Moto.
Hello, Moto.
Debating on the Bauer cordless recip versus the corded Bauer. Thoughts? I know you ranked it second from the best for the cordless Bauer. Here's my take with recips. Only get cordless if you need cordless. If you don't need cordless, get corded. You're going to get more power. You're going to get a lot more runtime. Typically, when you're doing work with a recip saw, you're doing a lot of it. And you might be doing, some one-off kind of stuff, but at least like on a job site when I've done it, or I guess you're not buying the Bauer for a job site kind of stuff. Still, I would get, with that, I would get the corded over the cordless. Thank you, Moto. Unless we heard you the first time.
Those are from the East Coast. It's Happy New Year.
Yeah.
2 more minutes.
We got 2 minutes. What is going on here? Well, my phone was off, so it's catching up with everything. Oh my gosh. Oh. The best, cheapest chisels are Marples, can be resharpened dozens of times. I like their saw blades. I'm not surprised to hear that. Let's see here. Why such outrage over such good tools Icon is making? Because people don't want to admit that they spent $10,000 on a set of tools they could have bought for $1,000. It's when you've bought in, you put your whole identity into I'm a master mechanic because I have these tools. And I spent this much money, and spending that much money shows that I'm committed to being a good mechanic. When somebody shows that you didn't have to spend that much, you could have bought the same thing for 20% the price, then that undercuts their visualization of who they are. Charles says, I'll gladly buy you guys Snap-on tools when it's at an estate sale in the dollar bin in 10 years. Yes, exactly. Client Graphics, Happy New Year's. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Richard Wolf says, last thing you want to build is your own coffin with storage to take your tools with it. All right, guys. Hold on just a minute. Let's see here. Checking the time.
Time check.
That says 9 o'clock.
Yes, it's because it's
9 o'clock. Happy New Year, East Coast. Cover your...
Okay. Okay.
Did I just get silly stringed?
Yes.
Yeah. L.
Take it off me.
No more.
Oh.
No mas, Eleanor.
No
mas.
more of that in here. Oh my gosh. That smells horrible.
It's the gas that they use.
Oh.
Put it away.
Chinese.
Chinese in a can.
Oh, in your chair.
It's down the back of my neck. I'm gonna...
We might have one less child tomorrow. Elle, put the top on.
Goodbye, Ella.
Goodbye.
Okay.
I love you. Give me a
Make
hug.
sure it's not on the heater.
No, I don't want to.
I want a hug.
Okay.
I didn't say you had to leave.
Good.
I was teasing.
I will never leave.
Careful, there's none on the heater, so we don't light anything on fire.
We're safe.
Yeah, you say that, but
Famous
you don't
last
actually look.
words.
Nope. You lost.
Happy New Year's,
you lost
East
your-
Coast.
Just think of it. They're in a completely different decade from us.
I feel really left behind.
Does that make this live stream 10 years long?
Yes.
What will the monetization be like?
I love you. I feel like I have silly string on my face.
I feel like it's all over my back.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Okay, we're back, sort of.
So Richard says, last thing you want to build is your own coffin with storage to take your tools with you. Uh-oh.
Hey, DeBrock. Oh, thank you so much. 2020. That was very clever.
Oh.
Thank you. Bing, 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 bing. Go ahead, Elle. Okay. Okay, that one's really loud. Okay. You were like having a seizure. Stop. Elle.
He blew up the chip jar.
Oh my goodness, he did.
That's so cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Daughter of Ra has 3 streams going at the same time. You are multitasking.
Joe Smith texted us. So you should have texted me earlier. We only decided to do it kind of at the last minute.
Yeah.
And I figured you guys had, plans and stuff. I didn't want to drag anybody into it.
Yep.
But thank you.
I think I saw a comment from him saying earlier that Sunday came very quickly.
It did, didn't it?
Just snuck up on everybody.
Oh. Hercules Radio, like Bauer, is that on the horizon? Yes, there is a Hercules Radio coming. It's going to be far more top end than the Bauer one. I actually talked to them about the development on that, and they're taking it serious. They're not going to just the Bauer one is like, okay, here's a radio. The Hercules one, they really want to get the most bang for the box that they can get in that box. That's banging.
Nice.
Box like.
Okay, where
Here
are
are
you?
some results from a search.
No,
Right here.
no one searched. No one said okay.
But you just hit the microphone, so it's...
To do a search,
Yeah.
open the
Oh,
Google
quiet, quiet. Down, boy. Dale says you were right. Never use modified batteries in brushless tools. There we go. Ronald says I found out that Harry Solden's wife is a robot. It's the one next to you, a robot too, with 2 knives. Could be. Ronald says, looks like y'all forgot about the Atlantic there. They're an hour earlier than the East Coast, and it's already New Year's for them. Yeah, but that's in Canada. We also didn't do, Greenwich Mean Time or any other ones, so we're just mean like that. Nova's Nick said there was a Cookie Monster behind us.
Yes, there was. She is just giggle pants tonight.
There's Joe Smith's Happy New Year for Jeff, Jesse, Elle, and the 2 boys. Happy New Year to you
Thank
two.
you.
Happy New Year to all of you, by the way.
Daughter of Roth, thank you.
Tell Eleanor
Eleanor
to behave.
was losing her mind with the silly string behind us.
Richard Wolf says DeWalt has a chop saw table saw combination only for sale in Mexico. Google it. Crazy looking tool. Could be studied. It's that's those combos are really popular in everywhere pretty much except the US. You'll see them in Asia, you see them all over Europe. The combination table setups are they're just everywhere. I'm not surprised to see it down in Mexico, probably in South America as well. But Americans don't. The only exception to that has got to be the Shopsmith. Somehow the Shopsmith kind of found a niche that it goes for. The people in the one, her little stool bag. The people in the one car garage kind of shops. So, see there, I can get closer to you.
That's
Or-
right. I'm going to get
Or
closer to you.
I could set up the table.
What?
There's a table here.
He's trying to divide us.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put that. I'm gonna hurt myself with that
Yeah.
thing. Her chair has a little table that folds out.
He's delusional.
Yep.
We all know there's no
The
table.
oh, that feels good. Any 25 off coupons for Harbor Freight on the 1st. Where's my catalog? Yeah, I got
You need a light
December 31st. Oh, today
and
and tomorrow. Here. You can read the code on that. Yeah, here. Read the code to him.
709-00034.
709-0034.
No, there's 3 zeros.
00034. Okay.
Yeah.
There.
And it says any single item.
Yep. Of course, with the normal caveats, which is like all the name brand stuff.
Oh, actually, maybe that's the code. Which code am I looking at?
No, I think that's right.
Okay. Because there's another code there.
And the back has the free flashlight.
They
On
can't
it.
see that.
I know. I'm being... You stay in your corner.
I am in my corner. You're all up in it.
It's just funny because when I saw the catalog itself, the only thing that was free on it was... Oh, no, the free flashlight's on that. I was thinking it was the screwdriver that I saw that was for free. I think that's on their online. They have the screwdriver for free. Anyway, Keith says, I'd like to see you do more with corded tools. I guess I'm just old school. Yeah, you know, I'm a big believer in corded tools. The problem is most people aren't asking me to review corded tools. And, you know, we're very viewer-based, viewer-driven, if you will. I try to provide you the content that most of the people want to see. If I get more requests for corded tools, I'll do them. But I do try to make the comment every so often that if you don't need a cordless tool, if it doesn't have the specific need to be cordless, you should buy corded. What? The batteries are much cheaper if you do that.
Joe Smith says free tarp 3rd through the 5th. And Jabrock mentioned that that's last year's code.
Nice.
And Jackal GB says most of the Somer comments are going to be West Coast.
Yes. Dale says it's a moonshine evening.
Oh my goodness, there's another goblin with a dinosaur shirt.
Charles says if you're using a hammer, you're doing it wrong. Thank you. Hey,
Hi.
why don't you move away from the heater?
How?
I was going to say stand up, but
Yeah.
you're too short, son. You're built too short. All the good ones go over your head.
Oh, look at he cranes his neck. Good job.
Ronald says, ask professionals are not out. Wait a minute. Whoop, sorry. Comments jumped on me. Ask professionals are not out tonight. We let amateurs do all the fun stuff. As professionals already got our party already planned, and we got our rooms for no DUIs for us. Yes.
Yep.
In fact, we've got friends out tonight that we said specifically call us. We'll be your Uber.
Yep. So one of us may need to leave.
Yeah, that would be me.
No,
Yeah.
If someone's
I'll
driving
leave.
tonight, it's going to be me. I'm not
It's gonna
letting
be
you
me.
go out in that craziness.
It's me.
Yeah.
Rowdy Broomstick, I really enjoy finally having a Harbor Freight in my town. Bought a Bauer 9-gallon wet dry vac today. Damn thing sucks. It does, isn't it? Oh, sorry about that. Bear One says the Porter Cable stationary tools have thick dust on them at my Lowe's. They do. They never go anywhere. The Novosnick says Barbara Walters has been introducing 2020 for years. Tonight she will finally get it right.
Nice.
I can't believe she's still alive.
Hey, don't
Yankee
say that.
Cantrell.
Happy New Year's from Kentucky Stan. Much love, shine on. Thank you so much. We are so glad to see you tonight.
$2.
Yes, that's right.
Richard Wolf says buy cordless if you can with the adapter, then you're always ready. You know, that is one of the things about the new line from at Walmart, the Heartline. A lot of those tools are dual voltage, and that's pretty cool. At least the lawn and garden stuff. That's pretty cool, I think. Because there's nothing worse than like getting almost finished and having a battery die on you. Ralph says, I'm in the background. We're not forgetting you're part of the show. Do you know where I could find a bevel washer for my older PM66 Arbor, which I am restoring? Oh, I don't. But maybe someone here does. If someone does know where you can get a bevel washer, please comment it now.
I'll buy one for you.
Yes, you'd have to. He wants to buy one himself. He just doesn't know where.
What? I don't even know what he wants to buy.
A
Yes.
bevel washer.
Happy New Year's from the East Coast. Brian Mack says, Happy New Year's. We got all the Happy New Year's here.
Oh my goodness. Griffin is off to find his wallet. I think he's going to try to buy it for you on Amazon.
Rich Will says, best blades are CMT, Amana, Freud, Forest, and Tenryu. Tenryu? And let's see here. Did you notice the Craftsman 20-volt batteries look a lot like Porter Cable's? Craftsman might be rebranded Porter Cable, but slightly below DeWalt. Also, Happy New Year. Yeah, that's kind of the theory. In fact, if you look at the charger, because I have the Craftsman charger, and I used to have some Porter cable stuff I played around with, they're nearly identical. And the batteries, except for some flourish on them, seem identical. And there's even a lot of tools, like they'd make a folding miter saw that is, except for the paint job, identical. I've seen some of them opened up, and they're not completely identical to the Porter cable. I think what they did was they added about 20% of the DNA from DeWalt. So I think they're a step above Porter cable. And the reason is they needed to do this because Rigid was just... Because Rigid is the other midline. You got TTI at Home Depot with Milwaukee, Rigid, and Ryobi as your good, better, best over there. And then at Lowe's, you had Black & Decker, Porter Cable, and DeWalt. Now, of course, DeWalt is also over at Home Depot. So when it came to power tools, Lowe's was really behind because as a professional or as a prosumer, most people are going to end up going to Home Depot for power tools because they can get the DeWalt at Home Depot. They can get Milwaukee at Home Depot, which you can't get at Lowe's. The Rigid is way just head and shoulders as far as the tools themselves better than the Porter cable, and there's absolutely no comparison between the Ryobi and the Black & Decker. In fact, the higher end Ryobis are better than the alleged middle of the road cordless Porter cables. And so they had to do something. I think that's where the Craftsman thing kind of came in. Anyway,
We're behind.
we're always behind.
I'm just reminding you because I love you.
If we're not behind, then we're not online.
Nice. Okay, can I move the chair again?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Little people.
Got to loving 3 streams at once. It's been sounding like Beirut over here in Florida since 6.
Oh my gosh.
When the sun went down. Oh my gosh. Where I grew up, and it was... Yeah.
Yes.
New Year's was a... I remember spending New Year's in the Quad Cities, which is Moline, East Moline, Davenport, and... is it Bettendorf or is it Rock Island?
I like how you're asking me.
I gotta remember which 4 they count.
Sorry.
Anyway, they, yeah, a lot of artillery sounds around there. Mr. Spartacus, said it backwards, Porter Cable rebranded Craftsman. Does it smell like Harbor Freight? It smelled way worse than Harbor Freight.
Yes.
Tony Fleming, hello from the aliens are here from Roswell, New Mexico.
Kirk said it's the Roaring 20s now. That's correct.
It is. The kids asked about something about that.
Somebody posted something on Facebook, and of course it was showing some ladies that were wearing flopper ladies. And I was thinking that is such a cool time period in history. I, of course, do not have the correct body type for that outfit, but it was very cool. I love the 20s to come back. I love their hair. Pin curls.
I'm not a fan of the 20s style. 40s and 50s.
Yes, I am a big fan fashion-wise of 40s.
Late 40s to really early 60s.
See, I like the 60s. I like the white go-go boots. I like the 40s, though. That's my favorite.
Yeah. Bottom Leaf Blower Friday night and noticed it had a picture of a cordless pole saw on the back. It does, and was it in the new... Where did we just see it? I saw it released. Oh, the new pictures they were showing. It's coming out shortly. The pole saw will be out by spring. Let's see here. Larry says, I'm at work watching fireworks on the surveillance camera right outside the fence just past our gasoline tanks.
Oh.
I work at a pipeline. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, I would be scared.
Iowa wind farmer. Really?
Cool.
Matt says, I watched your best of 2019 tools videos and saw you were having the live stream. Was wondering what I was going to do tonight. Problem solved. Well, that's awesome.
Yay!
That's kind of what I was hoping. As I knew that, we're old fuddy-duddies. We're, some friends asked, hey, you guys going out? You going to go party? And we're like, no. There would be, I have a short fuse when it comes to drunk idiots. And Vegas is full of drunk idiots.
Yeah, I saw something about the National Guard is going to be helping out on the strip tonight.
Oh, great.
And I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Not interested
Vegas
at all.
is full of drunk idiots, and New Year's at Vegas?
Yeah.
Too many people buy into that marketing thing of, when in Vegas, what happens in
your
Vegas
mind.
stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
They a lot of people get this idea when they're on vacation that rules don't matter. I've run into this. I've traveled abroad quite a bit, especially in the Caribbean, South America, or not Central America and stuff like that. And people go down there. And sorry, but women do this a lot. They get down there and they think they're on this
Are
luxury
we gonna
holiday.
have a gender thing? Because I'm about to.
And they'll walk around the resorts or the hotels or towns wearing like bikinis with sheer cover-ups and like, I'm in a tropical paradise and this is how I can dress. Not realizing that the culture down there is Catholic and thinks that you're dressed like a straight up tart. And
Men make some interesting choices when traveling abroad.
oh yeah, I mean they do, but it's anyway.
Anyways, yes, people that are on vacation and are tourists sometimes forget and lose their minds.
Yeah.
And Vegas is a place that people do that a lot. And so we're happy to stay home.
Yeah, I love making fun of tourists wherever I am. There's always lots of fun in San Francisco because everyone thinks they're going to California. They get off the cruise ship. They're like, we're in California. It's going to be sunny. I'm wearing flip-flops and shorts and a T-shirt. And it's 60.
It's not Southern California.
It's like, or 50 when the fog rolls in.
It's not Baywatch. It's Escape from Alcatraz.
Yep. Let's see here. Richard says, houses have their own Facebooks now to document the family and work over the years. Adds value to the house. When we sold our house, and I'm planning to do a whole video on this, and I was waiting for spring to do it because that's when most people, I'll probably do it in like late January, early February to get people ready for the springtime. But when we sold our house, we sold it ourselves. And I'll tell you right now because it's going to be in the video. We bought the house for $180,000. It was in the Central Valley. It was originally built and sold for close to $500,000. We held out, didn't buy anything, saved our money. Then the whole crash happened, and then we bought our choice of houses in the middle of the crash. Paid next to nothing for the house. They'd been completely remodeled. We put a little bit of extra work into the house when we sold it, and I was asking we listed it at $336. We got a cash offer at $336 and sold ourselves. We did pay the seller or the buyer's agent, but we didn't have a seller's agent, and we did that ourselves and pocketed, I think it was $12,000. So, anyway, the whole point of that is, yes, I did a Facebook, I did a website, I did drone photography, I sent out flyers to all the sales agents in the areas, advertising that it was for sale and that yes, we were paying sellers agents because a lot of times the agents don't want to show your house because they're afraid they're not going to get paid. And by telling them, hey, look, basically they're the ones who get the work done, the people with the buyers. Anyway, we'll save that all for another video.
So it's going to be in the video. It's going to be awesome. But yes, that is absolutely what happens. Yep. Your mouth is full.
Read this one.
I haven't heard you talk about the Bosch tools. Any chance on getting your thoughts or a video on the brand quality?
Yes. I don't talk a lot about Bosch because Bosch is only recently beginning to become more aggressive about targeting the consumer buyer. And by consumer, I mean the non-corporate buyer. Bosch is in the same category as Hilti and the same category as the higher-end Makita stuff. Their primary business or the primary purchaser is corporate, who buys in fleet purchases. And as such, I haven't really covered them because they didn't really carry an extensive lineup of tools that were up to speed with what the average consumer was looking for. Big Jordan just subscribed. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
And we're going to be covering them more. In fact, I'm planning to pick up one of the Bosch freaks here shortly. And also, we're going to be adding that to the battery review we have coming. So, in January, we will be talking more about Bosch. That said, they're an excellent tool the battery systems are very expensive, and they're just now getting to the point of having a good array of consumer retail-based, let's call it retail-based power tools. I think they're going to go more towards retail to expand their profits, but we'll have to see how that goes. Why are you giving this to me?
So you can have a drink.
But I just had a drink.
NC77089. The Den of Tools. Happy New Year's for anyone on the East Coast.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year's.
Let's see here. If you haven't gotten a green laser, buy one. I was shocked at how clear that they are fun. But if I get a laser, I want to get something that that cuts.
Do not
I
encourage
want to get
him to get
a laser cutter.
lasers.
Anyway, I need to use the little bear's room. So why don't you... I completely lost where I was. So
It's okay. I know where you are because I've been following on here.
there you go.
So,
Oh!
Aaron Davis says, thanks for the recommendation of the Hercules tools. I bought all of the 20-volt tools and have been fantastically happy.
Yay!
Thanks for the great content. Pardonnez-moi. Okay. Whoa, this chair is super different than the one that I have. His chair is way more comfortable. I just thought I'd mention that. Mario, I'm gonna wait till he comes back. I do see that you have a question about Hilti, that they used to be everywhere, and now you never hear about them. Oh, somebody else, Richard, already responded. Thank you so much. Joe, I already mentioned the free tarps. 25% off. Oh, I hear little feet. Oh, careful, don't knock over the heater.
So how many New Year's have we had so far?
Just one. It's one every hour. L, no more. Richard, I did know about, it says most people don't know that every garage door opener has a specific code that if you open up the back, you can write down the code and make duplicates or steal someone else's access code. Jabrock, yes, that is right. More people know now. You build it, we destroy it. Happy New Year. The ball dropped. Now just waiting for a call to go on a drunk roundup. Well, I'm hoping that means that you're going to go pick up your friends and not that you're going to go have to deal with drunk people.
Drunk people are funny sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes they say funny things.
Tip a pig.
Can you buy Harbor Freight stock? As long as it's a publicly traded company.
You think so?
First night I was here, someone drove back to the hotel drunk, parked the car, and then came back out to get something out of the car and spent 5 minutes trying to open the door to the wrong car. I would like to say that I have done that completely sober. I have tried to figure out why the remote will not work on my car and what could possibly be wrong. I will admit that I've done it several times when I was pregnant, so I'm going to blame my baby brain. But I've also done it not. Elle? No.
Shaving.
No, we're not shaving with that.
Gosh, Mom. I won't need them.
So... Elko, Happy New Year's! Thank you so much.
Did somebody say New Year's?
They said New Year's. I'm trying to go back to where I was. Sorry, people. We're a little behind.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah. What's all mine now?
Daughter of Ra is organizing her cross-stitch stuff. That's because you're awesome. So... Oh my goodness. Okay, so we are so behind that I cannot find it here. So hang on. Richard was telling everybody that there's a code in the garage door thing that people can steal. Somebody asked if you can buy Harbor Freight stock.
Nope.
I said as long as it's a publicly traded company.
They're not.
They're not?
Nope. Harbor
Well,
Freight
there
is.
you go.
There's. What do you call it?
Silly string?
Silly string. Oh,
Color
not sure.
me surprised.
Banana bread. Harbor Freight's privately owned. And not sold over the counter.
Okay. Somebody else asked a question. Keep going. Richard Wolf says Red Wing Boots says they might discontinue Soul Repair. I cannot go far enough back
Really?
to where you were because we're that far behind. Somebody asked another question before.
Bear One says my Lowe's still has the Hitachi miter saws on display for the Metabo items. Yes, they're slowly working their way through them. Let's see here. What are you talking about? We're way past that. There we go.
I'm going to bite you.
Let's see here. Mary Desmo says, what's up with Hilti? They used to be everywhere now.
Yes, that one.
That is what I was saying. They target only the large-scale corporate buyer anymore. They'll sell to anybody you want, but like, there's one place to buy them in Vegas, and we're a town of 2 million people.
Yeah.
And it's a Hilti store.
But I want to say that Richard responded.
Okay.
Shortly after that one.
He says you see
Mostly
it
with iron and pipe workers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They do a lot of demo. Lot of commercial construction. Like big commercial construction. Bear One says Harbor Freight garden share thing, is that any good? I have never used it.
Keep going because I sort of picked.
Jim says Client Graphics put the code up, Harbor Freight code up in the stream already.
Cool.
So you weren't that far back. Happy New Year from Northern Tennessee, Mike Adams says. It's finally the year of Mad Dog 2020. Oh my gosh. Ronald says, your youngest daughter is finally wearing a shirt. It's because it's snowing. I don't know why. You know why it is. It's because her Nana gave it to her.
Yeah.
So it's special. And that's why she wears it. It makes her feel loved. Richard says, with the new Lion batteries, most guys can recharge batteries with their cigarette lighters. They just don't. It's like WW6 out here in Florida.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, because of all the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nova 6 says, I purchased the Milwaukee Rocket Light because it's battery powered or plug into the wall. DeWalt didn't offer the 110 option. Those rocket lights are nice. They really are. Shaggy Rifleman says hello.
Hello.
Richard Wolf says, if you guys know anything about stocks, Boeing is low now. Buy now. They will be. That is, my God, brilliant. Talk about the obvious thing. If you want to, my view on investing is I'm a contrarian. You never buy when something's going up.
Yeah.
You never sell when something's going down. That's the thing about the stock market versus Vegas. You almost never completely crap out in the stock market. It can happen, but usually things bounce. And at some point they'll come back, somebody will buy it, it'll get redivested, you'll get your stocks moved over to something else, and your value can come back. With gambling, you just lose, you lose. And it's like when we bought our house. We didn't buy the house. Everyone's like, you should buy a house now. You should. I had friends going, I can get you my broker. He can get you a loan. It'll be like 1.5% for 3 years, and then after that you just refinance again. You do it every 3 years, and I'm like, that sounds ridiculous. Most people I know who did that lost their houses. We waited, saved, and then when everyone else was like, the housing market's totally, it's terrible, don't buy a house, we bought a house.
Yeah. And I mean, we looked for a long time.
Yep. And when we sold it, we made a bunch of money.
Yep.
I bought you banana bread, by the way.
Thank you. Daughter brought, it's because we don't have any pumpkin bread right now.
And we're not going to have any more. Because starting tomorrow, we're going back to keto.
Okay, but we
Yep.
still have to.
Yep.
Okay.
Why? If only there were, like, food pantries around the city we could donate that to.
That wasn't what I was going to say, Mr.
What were you saying?
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
My Porter Cable Power Hand Planer weighs nearly as much as my chainsaw. That thing is dense. They do. They have the plate on those things has to be so straight and not have any bend to it. Otherwise, there's no point to it. Matt says, had to watch your Golden Bear Awards first. Didn't know you had a new Patreon member named D. Walt. Seriously, you have me jonesy for some Makita tools. It wasn't easy for me to say it, but, DeWalt has some good stuff out there. And I often say they do, but it's always the higher-end stuff. That new 60-volt, the FlexVolts power system it's a great battery system. It's just too bad that they charge so much for everything. Let's see here. Shaggy Refman says, I got lights in my garage. Matt says Jeff's not going to wear white go-go boots, and that's final. I don't even think they make them in my size, so I don't think that's a problem.
I'm sure somewhere someone does.
I am really sad that Red Wing Boots is getting rid of sole repair. That said, if you can find a cobbler, that you gave to me, put over here. And
Yes, because I thought you were dying of thirst.
I have a drink right here.
Obviously, I didn't know that when I gave it to you.
Oh my gosh.
I will remember to not be kind to you in the future.
I need something poked. Here we go.
Okay, why are you hurting their ears?
That's what I say to you. I hurt my ears.
Yep.
Anyway.
Karma.
Yeah, people don't even understand about that you can repair shoes. There's so many things that people don't understand they can repair. I got a great comment today on that washing machine video I did. Mm-hmm. And guy commented, he's like, "Thank you so much. You saved me $400. Rather than having to buy a new one or call someone out to fix it, he's going to do it himself."
Yep.
Or he did it himself.
Well, and that's the thing. The other thing is, people don't make stuff like they used to. They make it so that it lasts for a certain amount of time and then falls apart in a piece of crap.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, one thing I missed when I lived in San Francisco was there was this little old Asian woman had this just the tiniest store you've ever seen, and she was a seamstress. And I could bring in, for $5, she would sew on buttons and fix and do little mends and stuff. And I'd get my clothes fixed or repaired there all the time. And a lot of people, I saw people throwing out clothes. Like, oh, I lost a button, I'm going to throw it away. Are you serious? I mean, I know how to put a button on myself, but when I was working there, I was working 2 or 3 jobs. I didn't have time. I could just drop it off there on my way to work and my way back. And it just blows me away. Brian says, has Metabo changed anything for good or bad in the old Hitachi line? Still good power tools, see a lot, reduced. The new, how do I say this? I think it's for the better. I really do. And Hitachi's a great line, but Metabo makes some excellent stuff. And I saw the new full boat Metabo stuff, and it looks great. I'm hoping that that's going to continue. I hope, but we'll have to see. But right now, my outlook on it is good. Bear One says, I love Art Deco look. I love the Art Deco look, and then also the Jet Age nuclear look so much. Fun stuff like making buildings, cars, concepts, more concepts. I like Art Deco as a concept. I like to look at it. I wouldn't want it in my house because it's too cold. But the mid-century modern, that kind of stuff, that stuff I really do like. Jim says, for strange fasteners, I always start at McCaster car. And Metric Multi-Standard Components Corp. So I always forget about McCaster car, and I don't know why, but I don't think there's anything they don't have. When will the new Bauer battery and lights come out? I think it's supposed to be, the light's supposed to be January. I don't know about the batteries. David Adder says 25% off, includes Spectrum Essential Pneumatics HTE/HVLP spray guns. So $97 instead of $129. There you go. Daughter says, I'm literally sitting here organizing my cross-stitch
Yep.
stuff. My New Year's. It's very exciting once you're a parent, isn't it?
This is like the sexy part of parenting that they don't tell you about. Yep.
Rich Wolf says, most guys don't know the difference between a big box store DeWalt chop saw at 13 amps or a real tool store saw at 15 amps. You know, I've actually been thinking about doing a video on that because there are a lot of pros who shop at the big box stores. And I guess for some of the basic stuff, the core tools kind of set, because they go on sale for so cheap, I can see that. But like, I don't know any real pros who buy lumber there. I don't know any real pros who buy fasteners or who buy their tools or anything. Maybe stuff for the house. But like, you know, you go to, like when I was in the trades, we always went to dedicated stores. Now that said, this was a long time ago, and it was in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is a very German kind of town. And like the hardware store was I can't remember the name. It was this German name, and there was an old German guy who ran it. And like, you know, they had, it was like going to a jewelry store when you were looking at like fasteners, like nails and screws and stuff. And there'd be a display one that was on like a magnet, and you could pick it up and you could look at it like, okay, is this the one you want? And you'd give him the stock number. He would go and get you, you know, the amount that you needed. It was a nice place. Final on my job situation, I'm not going to pursue work with a new location, have to reapply, which I did, then I was told I have to also.
Redo the video interview, which it will not let me.
Oh. Sorry about that.
That's a bummer.
Brian Mack, Vegas or New Orleans tied for crazy tourists? My bet is New Orleans.
I had
would
that
bet
thought
New Orleans
too.
also.
I would think New Orleans as well. Excuse me. But that was exactly what I was thinking when you were talking about Vegas. I'm like, the only other place I can think of is New Orleans. Or
Well, here's the difference between New Orleans and Vegas. In New Orleans, you're actually like out on streets, real streets. Mm-hmm. Everything in Vegas is very contained. Mm-hmm. When you're in the resorts, you're in a controlled resort environment. On the Strip, you're almost always in a resort, and the stuff that's actually on the Strip where people walk, there's no alcohol. There's nobody out there selling stuff and whatnot. Everyone's inside because it's either too cold or too hot. And Fremont Street is open, and you're on a street, but it's a faux, you know, outside environment. There's a roof over the top. It's blocked off from traffic, and there's police every 5 feet. Let's see here. Matt says they have a Pizza Hut with a courtesy dock on the lake. You can order a pizza and pick it up on your boat.
Yep, that sounds great.
You getting ready for
somebody commented
Central Time Zone?
That wear my crazy eyeglasses,
Oh, yeah.
so I'm trying to put all the eyeglasses on. The reality is I'm waiting for my actual eyeglasses to show up so I can, you know, see things in the world.
Richard Wolf says if you sell a house or car, have every receipt and everything documented, you can get 10 to 20% more easily. I would say, I don't know about a house, but you can definitely with a vehicle, like cars that I've sold, boats, all that kind of stuff. Like when I sold my boat, I had a 3-ring binder with everything documented in it, all the whole 9 yards. I even did, it was an older boat, it was made in 76. I even did a research project on the maker of the boat, had all the stuff in there about it. The guy who bought it was just tickled pink about that. What's nice is if you can go on Facebook page and see which family they're happily 20 years ago, and it adds to the community around the house. Yeah, and now you got Nextdoor too. You could also check on that.
Oh,
I know we jumped just
What
a second.
happened?
There we go. Happy New Year, Bear Fan. Michael Wells, hi Michael, and Patricia, if you're there, howdy as well.
hey.
And Mike Adams says, in my humble opinion, in my humble rookie adventures in woodworking, so far I've made a trinket box, a coloring pencil caddy for my niece, and 2 guitar capo holders for my coworkers. My niece is something. I can't see. Okay, I know the text limit is a pain. And Rowdy says, Would love to know if you have any interest in bolt action rifles. You would be a great reviewer and could be a second channel.
Nope. Nope.
Oh, am I going to knock stuff over?
Probably. Yes, like everything.
Yeah. We're not going to get it out right now.
Yes.
No interest.
Yeah.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have often said that I wanted to do a second channel and do that sort of thing. And I do have some bolt guns. In fact, I just sold one. It was my my scout rifle. And I'm more of a handgun person. I was a CCW instructor in California. And so a lot of the stuff I've done around is around handguns. So... But yeah, I do want to do a second channel if I can find the time. Let's see here. Most people don't know that you can support your local police department and avoid getting pulled over if you buy a law enforcement memorial license plate for your car. I don't know if that works as much as it used to. It used to be back in the day, especially in the Midwest and the smaller, like in the South, the smaller areas of town or the country. That, you know, if you had if you bought all the stuff that they came around and they sold, and you get the stickers for your back window. I remember my grandmother had like this whole slew of stuff in the back, and she could just fly through town.
You mean be a very good driver?
Yeah,
That's
she
right.
was a very good driver. In her all black was Ford LTD. Mm-hmm. I love that car. I'm getting there. Oh, let's see here.
Way down.
You need to stop.
You need to give me a driving thing.
Jake.
A wheel.
Jay says Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's.
All right. This is the problem when you let your beard grow out. Is the furs get in your ear. Ron Smith said, I saw you did a review and you gave Hart, who's doing the toolboxes, hand tools for Hart. Oh, English is hard. You're using voice to text, I'm guessing. I don't know who's doing the toolboxes for them. I haven't seen the toolboxes in person. I've only seen it on some of their press stuff. But I'm excited to see it. I can't wait to see them. Echo Belkin, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Jerry George says, Happy New Year's for DeBear and his family. What's going to be the new tool of the decade? Oh, that's a good question. The new tool of the decade. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. I'm excited to see what Hart is going to come up with and where they're going to take that line. They have a lot of power there hanging with Walmart. Let's see if they use it. If they use that power correctly. Michael says, I've heard that Bosch makes some very nice home appliances. Their stand mixers can go toe-to-toe with KitchenAid. I don't know if I would go that far. I am kind of a KitchenAid fanboy. I bought, this is one of my my favorite purchases I've ever gotten, and I'm so proud of myself. I'd always wanted a KitchenAid stand mixer. I should do a video on it. I've always wanted a KitchenAid stand mixer, and years ago, I was at a flea market.
What in the flock of seagulls is that? Oh, fireworks.
Fireworks.
It sounded like somebody was rolling marbles down the front of our door, and I'm like, what are the children doing?
But, so, yeah, I was at this flea market, and this guy had set up a booth. He'd owned a restaurant and was going out of business, and he had a KitchenAid stand mixer. Not the flip-up, it was the crank one. And I took a look at it, and of course it was kind of beat and stuff. I noticed it said commercial on it. It's the commercial grade, so it's got a more robust motor and everything in it. He said the only problem is you can't use the attachments with it. Because right on the front, where it has the little disc that you take out to put other stuff, it says, no attachments allowed or something like that. It was a long time ago, I remember what it said. And I was like, well, that kind of sucks. I'm like, but I want it for the mixer. Because I was going to make pumpkin bread with it. I'd burned out several hand mixers and a cheap stand mixer making pumpkin bread. So I asked him how much he wanted for it, and he's like, "What are you going to use it for?" And I told him that I do this. He goes, "You know what? $25." So yeah, that was mine. I took it home. I cleaned it up. I put a new cord on it, and just it was amazing. It was great. And I did some research, and the reason it had the no attachments was for the UL rating. To meet UL listings, you couldn't put any attachments on it. All the internals were there for the attachments. You could definitely put an attachment on it. It was just a notice that you're not supposed to.
That's right.
So
everyone's talking about where their exes are.
So I went to one of those outlet stores where they have the kitchen stuff, and I bought every attachment I could find. Anyway, I get a little crazy about them. This is Mrs. Bear. You really need a much more comfy chair for these videos.
That's right.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, I do.
No.
You guys have no idea what chair I'm sitting in right now. It's not comfy.
It's a lawn chair. It's plenty comfy.
You want to switch?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not chance.
How comfy is it now?
Mike Ebb says, my niece is happy my coworker bought the guitar pick boxes and wants me to make him some boxes for his daughter. I'm having fun learning this skill. That's awesome.
That's great. Itsy. Just saying, if you like doing it.
Yeah. Echo says, any New Year's plans? You mean plans for tonight and tomorrow other than doing this and doing the videos and stuff? Nope. Nothing special. We're not going anywhere. We got some viewers who are going to be in town next week, so hopefully we'll be hanging out with them. Richard says, the laser guy on YouTube channel shows you how to buy a tattoo removal laser and use it to cut things. I did see there was the video. I didn't actually watch the video, but I do want to watch it. Does Mrs. the Bear have a separate email? I don't think you do.
Well, sort of. I mean, we could make one up.
I should make one up for you.
Yep. Who asked?
Bear One asked. You know what?
Okay.
I'll email it to you after I make one up.
Yes. Probably they're going to tell me all the cool chair deals.
Fred says his ex lives in Elko, Nevada.
Yep. Somebody else, there are several people who say all their exes live in Texas. This is
Of
just
course.
a song.
Larry wants to know what happened to your large collection of eyeglasses that you used to wear.
I am putting...
She goes
Oh,
through
my goodness.
phases.
Yes.
Did you break them already?
Well, they're plastic.
That would be a yes.
Shh.
Don't feel bad. When I used to do towing, I used to run the people all the time to Heads Dodge Caravans. You go to a parking lot and they're full of them. They're all over the place.
Drunk people? What are we talking
I don't know. When will Bauer come out with a dual battery charger? Soon. Richard says he's trying really hard now to get contractors in their store. They're supposed to be changing the parking around and making the contractor area bigger and having coffee and donuts. They are pushing very hard to become the new go-to place for contractors. That's all part of their new business plan. And let's see here.
Oh, I was trying to read something.
Bear One says, so again, you were busy with the fam today, but in my email I asked about this new dual bank Hercules charger. In the book it says sequential and the website says simultaneous charging. That's a good question. I will email my contact and ask him.
Daughter of Ra said, Mrs. Bear at denoftools.com. Go, Mr. Bear. Get that made. That was her suggestion.
I will do that. Mike says, I'm still a rookie at woodworking, but people are putting in orders to buy my work. It's kind of blowing my mind. Yeah, just be prepared for it. That's kind of the way I got started with pumpkin bread. Bauer lawn equipment versus Lynx lawn equipment. Oh, the Lynx is way better. It's more powerful. It's got a better battery. You buy the Bauer lawn equipment. Like I said in my video, if you saw my top 10, you buy the Bauer because you're already into the Bauer stuff, and that's just hey, it would be great if I had this. I would not say there's anything that I've used from Bauer as far as lawn equipment that is like anything to write home about. It's not terrible. It's just nothing special. The Lynx stuff is apparently pretty good. So, that's kind of the way it goes. And I think that's kind of across the board with most of the lawn tool systems. If you want something really good, you have to buy a specialty product where you're just buying that. There's a few that have some exceptional items. along with the rest of the mediocre stuff, but none of it has all across the board kind of stuff. Stop. I'll be like the Pope and smack you. Have you ever seen the 4.5-inch grinder stand from Northern Tool? You can put your grinder in it and use it like a chop saw. I have seen those. I like to whisper too.
He's looking for his wallet.
I have seen those. There's actually a lot of really cool grinder attachment kind of gimmicky kind of stuff like that. There's another one you can use that will put a guard on it and let you use it like a little mini circular saw. What was the other thing I saw? There's another one that lets you attach a grinder to a belt sander. And that looks pretty cool. Trent says, make Makita makes fragile tools and they have incredibly crappy customer service. Yes, Trent, I know you're not a fan of Makita. I'm sorry you had a bad experience with them.
Sorry.
My thanks to you and others on your channel for advice this past year, Mike Adams says. Let's see here. Oh, there's Shay Griffin. All my exes live in Texas. And let's see here. Bear says, I got a mid-high tier Honda self-propelled push mower for free that the neighbors threw out. Spent $150 on parts and tools and a great lawnmower out of it. That's awesome.
I am a huge fan of finding those crazy things that people toss out.
A lot of stuff that people will throw, kind of like the clothes we're talking about. People like, oh, it's broken, I'm going to throw it away. And you're like, it needs a new spark plug, or it needs a battery, or you just need to plug it in.
Right.
Hey, everyone, by the way, remember, type in @the-den-of-tools. That way it pops up like this little orange block right there, so we can, that way we know you're talking to us. That's the only ones I read for sure, because as you see, we get kind of behind. It's
7
all
minutes.
her fault.
Why does it smell like something smells funky?
Can you recommend a decent, inexpensive bench-mounted grinder? The nice view back there.
Sorry.
Remember, it's a family show, folks.
Sorry.
Can you recommend a decent? I had the Harbor Freight one that had the little light on it. It wasn't terrible. It is fairly inexpensive. I liked it. I was. What was I doing? I was cutting something, and I cut off a 1-inch piece of wood and shot it across the shop directly into, like it was a catcher's mitt, right into the light. What?
The jet's broken on the window.
Is it not moving? Oh, great. It's there, but it's not moving. Oh, of course it is.
5 minutes.
Well, there, that looks like it's doing something. There, look at that.
Yay!
What was I doing with it? I don't remember what it was.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It must have been a sander.
It seems like something's burning.
Boy, it sure does. Why don't you unplug the heater?
Okay, well, I checked on that, but
It's because you got it leaning against the cardboard.
No, I checked that. It's not leaning against the cardboard. I'm going to make sure children aren't making something.
And let's see here. What time is it? 5 minutes. My dad used to say, you want to gamble, give your money. You got a better chance of giving it back to the casino. Wait a minute. What was it? You want to gamble, give me your money. You got a better chance of me giving it back than the casino. Fred Hill says, so far I love my Bauer Power Tools as a DIYer. I'm guessing I really don't need brushless. No, you really don't. I keep telling people brushless it's a nice to have. It's not a necessity unless for you in what you're doing, it's a necessity. Richard Wolf says, start with a $50,000 manufactured house, 5 to 10 years, use it for down payment for an actual house. That's not a half bad idea. We've been trying to think of it, because we really don't want to buy a house here in Vegas, because we got the house in Montana. We don't want to, spend the extra money and get into something down here, especially with property values being as high as it is. I wonder if we could buy our own property and put I don't know. There's probably some law in the city about manufactured house. I don't know. We'll have to look into it. Dara says, okay, I'm comfy now and done organizing. 2.5 hours to go.
I'm back.
Richard Wolf says, in case you haven't heard, Warren Buffett literally bought every single truck stop and almost every single manufactured home park in the United States last year. No, I didn't hear that, but that man's a freaking genius. So if he bought it, there's money in it. I don't know if he makes any bad choices. Let's see here. Where'd I go? Sorry, it jumped on me there. Here we go. Makita is made for precision sealed bearings, aircraft aluminum, slow start, high torque motors. DeBrock's going to let the dog outside.
Good plan.
And Richard says, I remember when we could buy a new pair of boots, strap them on tight, and sit in the hot tub for 4 hours and walk around them. We never did that, but yeah, we used to do stuff like that. My wife found out today that she got her promotion. Woohoo! She works for the federal government. She started at the very bottom, and now she's going to be a GS-15. Wow, congratulations.
Awesome.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. Good for you, Patricia. Echo Belkin is stepping out. It feels so empty around here.
Hey, our Cyrillic friend.
Oh, he's here.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Is it tomorrow there yet? Is it New Year's yet? It is, right? Yeah.
Frankenfishing, Duramax, Cummins Power Stroke. What's the best diesel engine? Cummins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially the slightly older Cummins from the early 2000s. The not as many electronics on it. Just incredibly strong engine. Let's see here. What year was Granny's LTD? Well, that's a good question. She bought a new one every year. So my father, this is my biological side, he was a sales manager for Ford. And he always swung these family deals and stuff. So she got a new one pretty much every year, every other year. So that was through the 70s that I remember it. Mostly 70s, early 80s. Let's not discuss voice to text. Those texts are funny sometimes.
I think that might be a reference to my text messaging because I use talk to text all the time, and sometimes my text messages are ridiculous.
Ghostbuster for life. Dead Tools and wife, Happy New Year's. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I like the Ghostbuster for life name.
I do too. I'm loving that.
I'm super psyched about the new Ghostbusters movie. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, I don't know about this, I don't know about that. It looks pretty cool to me. 1 minute, please.
Some seconds, okay.
I don't have seconds on here.
I don't either.
Why is there no seconds on my clock?
Because it's broken.
It is broken.
Yep.
Well, at some point here, it'll be...
Really soon. It's 10!
Happy New Year, Central Time!
Midnight Central. I love you. Ooh! Stop ringing my bell.
All right, Happy New Year. Glad you could join us and be with us. Wow. I spent a lot of time living in the Central Time Zone. That was... Hi. Let's see here. Good night from the East Coast. See you guys on Sunday. Jim, you have a good one. You take care. Thanks for staying up late with us. Thank you for sharing your New Year's with us. That's really, it's really nice to know that you guys want to spend time, hanging out on a special night like tonight. Yeah. Johnny Greco says, it will be the rigid octane cordless saw. Those are good saws. They really are. I had the 5X saw, and I thought it was brilliant. Zine says, Happy New Year's. And let's see here. Donna Ross says, presuming we took a midday nap. We talked about it. We usually do. We say we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't happen.
And then life happens.
Yeah. DeBrock's like, party on. I'm back. Yeah. All right, everyone. Stop talking about him. Let's see here. Larry says, my tool of the decade was the Makita Impact Driver. It was my tool of the decade last decade, too. Going for 3 in a row. The Makita Impacts are pretty nice. Especially the newer ones, man. The new high-end one, it's got a ton of settings. You can do all sorts of special things with it. Or you can just use it and it just works. Let's see here. Fred Hill says, I saw that probably by the end of the year, SpaceX will probably be offering space-borne internet services. Have you heard that? Boy, AT&T sure pissed off. Yeah, that's a big deal. That's that whole constellation thing they've been talking about. Crank Viewer just subscribed.
Welcome.
Awesome. And there are some what do you call it? Astronomers are upset because it's going to block their view of Venus. That's a old Bugs Bunny line, if you would. It's Marvin the Martian.
I'm going to blow up the Earth because it's blocking my view of Venus.
I do that one for the kids. They have no idea what I'm talking about.
It's because it's from the olden days.
It is. That's Eleanor says. Is that from the olden days? Yeah. Let's see here. Daniel McKenzie's in the house. How you feeling, Daniel? Hope you're feeling better. Bear One. Well, I do build computers, and computers users need good chairs for cheap. I do know some chairs perhaps the Mrs. Bear can get for Valentine's gift. Yes, and the issue isn't that she's not normally out here, so she only uses this a few times. And if she got a nice chair, it'd be sitting out here in my shop, and I have limited space as it is right now. So unless you want to haul it in and out,
You know what we could do? We could share this desk. I could come out and work on projects next to you.
not a snowball's chance in Miami.
Great idea. I'm so glad you suggested that.
Nope.
We're really behind, like 30 minutes. So.
Let's see here. Jimmy Greco says, I want to see Rigid come out with an Octane cordless table saw. I can guarantee you that is in the works. Daniel says, my cellulitis is finally healing after I saw a new doctor, dermatologist. It gave me a steroid cream. We're finally winning this war. Man, I went through that one myself. It is terrible. Zine says, all his exes live in Sweden.
Interesting.
Are they all blondes on the bikini team? Like mine are?
Sorry, honey. I love you.
I've never even dated a blonde, I don't think.
You never dated anyone before me.
That's true.
Real.
That's true.
Right.
I was a 75-year-old virgin. Joe Smith says steel lawn equipment is better, but what does Joe know? He's just a professional landscaper.
Yeah.
Daughter Raw must be cold. The little one's wearing a shirt. I know, right?
I know.
Richard Wolf says the only way police officers have to talk to each other and tell each other that this is a member of the family is with those license plates, and most people don't even bother getting it. Again, the Tecton Tools broomstick punch set is great. I know, I gotta get that. I want to get a hold of that. If Johnny says, you think Rigid will ever come out with a cord? Oh, that's the one we talked about. And speaking of hillbillies, the gunfire should commence here shortly. Speaking of hillbillies.
Yes.
Or rednecks in this case, which to me are they're
Same.
kissing cousins, if you would. And we're watching, is it Grant Stevens? He does, no, not Grant Stevens. Who is it? I can't remember what this guy is. Some young guy who does real estate and talks about investing and stuff like that. I'm always interested in real estate. And so I watch some of his stuff. And he talks about like the best banks to invest in and stuff like that, or put your money in. And he did the top 5 like cheap banks that give good returns. And his number 2 was
Redneck Bank.
Go there now.
Yes.
Open the website.
Yep.
It's a real bank.
Yep.
FDIC insured kind of bank.
It's got a horse with a Happy New Year's hat on.
No, don't spoil it for them.
Okay. There's a whole lot going on, but you got to see it. It's real. They have a great APY. Yeah.
We gotta get an account there just so we can see that website every time we have to check our account.
Just so I can have a card from there.
Almost 10 p.m. How about a mod shout out? DeBrock, thank you so much for reminding me. You know, we've gone through 2 New Years and I haven't done one. I feel so terrible. Thank you very much for all of our mods, especially you who showed up with no warning whatsoever to be here and help out with the channel. You guys are amazing. For those of you who don't know, the mods are the ones who, in their name up there in the chat, I guess it doesn't show up here, but in the regular YouTube chat, it shows up with their name in blue with a little wrench next to it. And they are all the people who, you know, help out with the channel. And if you could, as a way of saying thank you for all the work they do to help out the channel. Most of our mods are content creators in their own right. They have their own channels. Go over there, check out one of their channels, watch one of their videos, get a snuggle.
You're right. I think
You're making me fall
Don't
asleep.
choke, Dad.
Oh, you being tired? Oh,
You can go to
my
sleep.
little,
You'll wake up in a different decade.
my tiny little
No, I want
Unabomber.
to stay awake so we can say they're a decade late.
Yeah. Anyway, check out their channels. Give them a thumbs up, and maybe even consider subscribing. So, thank you so much for reminding me, DeBrock. I appreciate that. Fred says, supposed to snow tomorrow morning and a heat wave of 11 here. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny Greco, I just got to say this.
No.
Somebody
Somebody else
said?
already talked
All
to
right,
him
thank
about
you.
it.
Yeah. Rich says, I'm a Home Depot guy. I'm lost in Lowe's half the time.
Yep. Can never find the bathroom in that place.
Good way to kill the last 35 minutes before I go home. That's awesome. And
Where'd you go?
I'm trying to catch up.
Okay.
And let's see here. Lowe's is kind of ridiculous on becoming an outside appliance repair tech for their customers. Quite a few demands, but no assurance you'll be used for work. I've actually got approached by several recruiters, and I don't know how they got my name, but I've had several recruiters try to contact me to get me to sign up for that, this whole new, outsourced service kind of contracting thing they have going on. I politely declined. Lowe's has a Metabo 10-inch table saw stand for $300. Is this a good saw for the price? Yes, it is. Joshua says, what do you think about Bauer tools? Do you think they're too close to Milwaukee tools? The only reason people compare them to Milwaukee is because they're both red. And you can't do that. They're nothing like Milwaukee tools. Milwaukee tools are professional grade tools. And the price is commiserate with that kind of performance. Bauer's a DIYer homeowner kind of grade tool. And the price is commiserate with that. They're excellent tools for the DIYer, for the person doing stuff that's a hobbyist or doing stuff around the house. Could you get away from using them professionally? Yeah, in some circumstances you could, depending on how heavily the tool gets used in whatever your trade is. But for the most part, that's not what they're designed for. That's like saying Ryobi or Porter Cable, all this. Those are all DIYer grade tools. Chevy Man says, leave the Cubs with that house. The one in Montana, that is entirely the plan.
Nice.
We're going to leave them at the house. Only parts of the U.S. are not 2020 now. I know, we're about half and half.
Yep.
I meant to tell you I have problems with the seasonal changes, so I have to do the light therapy. Try it, it will help. I am. That was a big problem for me until I stopped, I got retired, and when I was younger, it wasn't a problem. That's kind of, okay, I'm kind of back up. So when I was younger, I never noticed it being a problem. As I got older, I noticed it being a problem, and now it's not a problem. And I think what the difference is in the middle there, I worked in an office a lot, or an office space. I worked indoors. I was doing, running cable, doing IT work, that kind of stuff. And when I was out, even when the days are shorter, I was outside working on top of houses, doing stuff all the time. So I was out in the sun, getting more natural sunlight. And I am now. I can go out in the middle of the day, and I see the sun a lot more often. So it doesn't bother me nearly as much as it used to. But yes, you're right. When I was doing that, I did have to get some of those lights, and it did help. Happy New Year from Saskatchewan. I'd love to get up there. I've never been there.
That would be nice.
Joshua says, if you have a chance to have Milwaukee, Bauer, Makita, or Rigid, who do you think is the best tool to get, Bear? Tell you Happy New Year's to you and your family. Thank you so much. Joshua, you're going to hate this answer. It's the tool that you need. Best is a very subjective term. If it's like say you're buying a car, and you're like, what's the best car I could drive? I would have to ask you, what are you going to do with the car? You said, I'm going to drive my family to school. I got 4 kids. I'm going to take them to school. And I'm going to take them to soccer. I'm going to take them to church and around town. never very far. I'd say get a minivan. If you said, I'm going to do the Cannonball Run, I'd say get a Lamborghini. If, you say, I want to commute 200 miles a day and cost as little as possible, I'd say get a hybrid. So it's the tool for the job. Makita and Milwaukee are both professional grade tools. Rigid is kind of this weird kind of hybrid. It's lower grade professional, upper grade prosumer. Bauer is prosumer DIY. So it's all where you want to be. I don't talk a lot about Rigid because they advertise this lifetime service agreement really hard. And they always talk about it, and it's always pushed at you as it's a lifetime warranty. It's not a lifetime warranty. It's an agreement, and they use that wording to protect themselves from a lot of laws that would force them to comply with certain terms you have to when it's a warranty. And I did a whole video on it. Go and watch my video on the good, the bad, and the ugly of Rigid. I used to be a huge Rigid fan. I switched away from them because of the fact they don't stand behind that LSA. They use everything they can to weasel themselves out of it.
I'm just going to take this moment to say, everyone say a good thought for Richard Wolf. His wife yelled, he's in trouble. Happy New Year's all. I'm out.
Oh.
Whoa. Maybe he missed the, Happy New Year's. Maybe that was his time zone. Anyways, hope you're okay.
Maybe he ate the last of the cookies.
Stay safe. Go kiss the wife. Bring her a cookie.
Daughter Ross says, I love Looney Tunes. She got it.
Yes, I know.
Not a bad margin. I meant to tell you I have a problem with the... Oh, that's one we just read. Let's see here. Oh, Echo said, I was looking for a long reach bit set.
Yes.
Much to my surprise, only Harbor Freight had 6... You and me both. I've been looking, and the only place I can find them other than Harbor Freight is online. Because I'll tell you what, the Harbor Freight ones are not good. They're really cheaply made. They're soft metal. I have them, and I've been looking. If you find a good quality that's inexpensive for the long reach sets, let me know. I would like to know. Duck Dodgers in the 21st and a half century. They've got Tom Jones singing the theme song. Mm-hmm. I had no idea. I love Tom Jones.
Hello from Colorado and Happy New Year's. Tool of the decade, hands down, is the cordless Impact, regardless of brand.
He's probably right about that. That has become just a huge tool.
One tool has literally changed how efficient the trades can be.
Yeah, it really has. Because, I mean, when I was in the trades, nobody used Impacts. Yeah. I didn't even know if there was an Impact. I'm sure there was, but...
Johnny Cricco said, woohoo! Can't wait. Joshua said, if it was at Home Depot, I could make it mid pickup tool. Which brand do you think is best for your money? There's Makita, Milwaukee, Rigid, or go Harbor Freight for Bauer. What do you think?
I think that's the one I just answered.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Johnny Greco said, sorry, asked the same question a few times. If you missed it, that's not a problem. I just want you to know, we do get behind, but I do read all the ones, at least all the ones where they actually do type at the Den of Tools. Let's see here. Nose Nick, how you doing? Hello. Lowe's sucks. Someone had to say it. Dave Lewis, 3/8 drive Milwaukee ratchet tool of the decade in my book. I use the heck out of it. Talking about a tool that changed an industry is the Milwaukee Impacts. They went in to the bays where what do you call it? Snap-on owned the market, and Milwaukee kicked them out. They're just taking over one shop after another. Josh Tool Dude says, been a while since I made the stream. Just grabbed some crazy CPO deals on the Hitachi multi-volt high torque impacts in the grinder. Plus, I can get a rebate for 3 free tools. That's awesome. You build it, we destroy it. How's it going, by the way? Some of the Bauer corded tools do look like the Milwaukee and a couple DeWalt old molds. They do. They look similar, but they're not the same tools. Harbor Freight does have, they're kind of like the Kia of vehicles or of tools. If you notice, Kia and Hyundai both have a tendency to copy the design of other, or at least they used to, until they started to get their own design kind of thing going. But like I had a Kia Sorento and everyone thought it was the Lexus. And I'm like, how can you... Now, I know cars, I got an eye for design and this kind of stuff. I look at them like, how could you make that mistake? But for the average person, they're pretty... I had a guy sitting in it thought it was a Lexus.
KD2RDH Larry says, you guys are so 2019. How long till you reach 2020?
It's going to be a while for us.
It's going to be a couple hours.
Who remembers when Home Depot hired retired tradespeople to run their departments? Those were the good old days. You still see it every so often, but not nearly like you used to. You used to be able to go into a department there, and the guy was just an old salt, and he knew everything there. And now you get some young guy who's like, I don't even deal with tools. I don't know anything. It's over in that aisle, maybe.
Right. Over there, I don't know.
I'm going on break.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, thankfully, I did buy the Harbor Freight one, so there you go. Yeah, that's... Yeah. Echo says, I did find a Milwaukee set at HD for 24, and the set included a 6-inch extender as well as 2-inch ones plus their heads. I don't know. I want to find a good solution for that. DeBrock says they would have a sign in each department with a photo of the pro and an in or out for each pro. There would be a line behind the pro to ask questions. That I don't remember.
That's cool.
Nose Nick says the first cordless tool I purchased was a DeWalt Impact 450 foot-pounds. Last flat tire I had convinced me to put one in my car. Never again without it. Yeah, I should definitely do that when we travel.
Yep.
Yeah, that and a good compact bottle jack or something, because I'm gonna jack that thing up.
Twice as many tarps as we think we'll need.
Yep. What do you think of the jumper box? I might have missed it. I had to fix the meter bins. The jumper box. I don't know a jumper box. I must have missed something.
I don't know.
Please clarify. Sorry. Barbecue 76. Is there a way to make the chat on the TV the same as it is on the computers, phones, tablet? Depends on the application you're using, but ours doesn't. Like on my TV, I can't watch the chat. I have to sit there if I'm watching a live stream. Are you okay?
I'm trying to see if this chat window is...
But on a TV, you don't get that.
Oh, okay.
It just shows up. At least I don't think you do. Maybe you do. I don't know. But when I watch it on a TV, I have to sit there with my phone. I pause the video, watch the video up there, and then read the chat down here. Or, yeah. Yeah, it's a pain.
Leonard Trigger Mortis. I've been approached more than once by people asking for advice. No jacket or vest. People just come up and ask me for help. Yeah. That is me all day long. Like, certain people attract people. I attract, like, crazy people. Like, really crazy people. And then I attract people. Everyone thinks I work in the store. And I'm like... And I look at them. I have a cart with, like, 3 children. I'm like, what about this situation makes you think I work here? Child labor laws. Sorry, I just kicked you.
Rodman says, I've seen where Lowe's is laying off longtime frontline employees, not giving severance and buying back stock. I did know that they were going to be cutting a lot of expenses and trying. When you're a company like that and you've got to reposition yourself, you've got to make uncomfortable choices or changes. And I haven't seen exactly what they're doing, but I'm not surprised that stuff like that's going on. What do you think has a better battery life, Rigid or Milwaukee? Milwaukee. Yeah, the Rigid batteries are mediocre.
Roach clarified it was the battery jumper box. I think it's like the jumper that you have in your car.
The Viking ones are good. the Centec ones. I don't know if they still have the Centec ones. Those are Shockwave. Yeah, that set it's okay, but I need something with a full extension because I often I'll work on electronics, and you'll get stuff where if there's a bit holder, you can't get down in there with it.
Yep.
What?
Nothing. You'll get there eventually.
How is Earthquake 12-volt ratchet wrench? I've heard great things about it. I don't have it. I've been hesitant to recommend the Earthquake 12-volt system just because there's only 2 tools in it. Yeah, I know I'm paying ITA with the chat thing.
And he was saying that before we changed formats, when he watched it on TV, he could see it scrolling. He could see the chat.
Yeah, because it was the YouTube version when you're not using that. How is the... where was I? Do the Lynx power tools come with battery and charger? I do believe they all do. What do you think about Cobalt power tools? They have a 6-tool combo kit on sale for... I have several of the Cobalt power tools. I was given a set with the hammer drill, the impact, some batteries, and a charger for free about 3 or 4 years ago by Lowe's. And we did a video on it. And I've actually bought a few tools since then to expand on it. I think they're an excellent choice for the DIYer, prosumer level kind of purchaser. In fact, usually my go-to reference, I like to give people 2 options because I get asked all the time, hey, I want to do this. What power tools line should I get? And for that prosumer DIYer level, I say either Bauer or Cobalt. Those are the 2 choices I would recommend. Larry says, I'm an attractor of weirdos.
Yep.
Was that the one you were sniggering about?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Next.
Crazy equals Jeff?
Mm-hmm. And then Joe's like, yep.
Nice. I'm glad Lowe's is making that change. The closest big box store to me is Lowe's, and I've already noticed some improvements. Yeah, they're definitely, the front end of the store, the tool section is definitely, I'm so glad they're getting rid of that little corral thing that they had where there was like one way in and one way out, and Bear One says there is a screwdriver from a brand called Oria with an extended neck shaft on Amazon. That sounds painful. Echo says he likes Cobalt tools. I do like the Cobalt tools. I don't think they're fabulous or anything like that. They are kind of, as I said, they feel a little plasticky. They seem a little bit oversized. They're not exactly the most compact things. They do have some compact versions, but they're good. They're 24 volt cordless or brushless. They're good tools. Barbecue 76, I'm obviously off work now. If you decide that you're not drinking tonight, then I'll have an extra one for you now that I'm off work. Quick, tell me everything I missed. We were talking all about you, but you're right. I am not drinking tonight. I'll just diet soda for me. I want to get up and do some stuff with the Cubs in the morning, and I don't want to feel terrible tomorrow, so.
That's right.
It's
The corral.
The corral was annoying a lot better now. Used to go to Sears and Home Depot for tools and Lowe's for the lumber. Yeah, it's really weird regionally. I've noticed when you travel around the different types, the quality of the lumber at the different stores. But yeah, Barbecue 76 says maybe you covered it while I wasn't watching, but what tools and stuff are you most looking forward to in? I'm guessing you're saying in 2020. Boy, okay. So the things I'm most excited about is I'm very excited to see what's going to happen in the area of mechanics hand tools, a la the Taiwanese tool truck alternatives. We've got Ingersoll Rand coming out. Wera is expanding their lineup. The Tecton's going to be expanding their stuff. Harbor Freight's going to be expanding their stuff. there's going to be, I'm guessing, 2 or 3 more players coming into that tool truck alternative market. And I think it's going to be a really good time to be, into those kind of hand tools, getting a lot of great deals. Power tools, I want to see what Hart's going to do, how that's all going to play out, how the customer service is going to be dealt with. I've been having some chats with them, and everything I hear from them has been the right answer as far as I'm concerned so far. I want to see what happens with Harbor Freight with not Milwaukee, with the Hercules line. They've put Bauer first because there was a bigger need for the prosumer grade stuff. But now that they've got most of that out, there's going to be more of a push towards the Hercules, hopefully. Let's see, what else are we looking for? I'm interested to see Mosh. Mosh seems to be taking the retail consumer space a lot more seriously. I'd like to see what they're going to do. And I know Milwaukee's doing a lot of stuff with the whatchamacallit, with their new MX battery lineup. I want to see what that's going to turn into. And I think probably what I'm most excited about is when Makita does the drawing on their outdoor side-by-side that they're giving away, because I'm hoping to win it this year. Fingers crossed. Better yet, I want to see who's going to buy me that hammer from the top best tools of 2019. Let's see here. Dibrock says, Happy New Year's, take care. Thank you, sir. And Echo says, CES is Tuesday. You going to go? No. We talked about it. I almost signed up for it. And the reality is, it would be fun to go to for me, but I don't think it's anything that's useful for the channel, and it would take my time basically for a week, or I wouldn't have time to do videos. Or if I did videos, it would be videos that 99% of the people who watch this channel aren't interested in seeing. So, not doing CES this year. Unless you guys can tell me that there's something amazing at CES that we need to see for the channel, I could probably do a last-minute registration.
Sean subscribed.
Yay!
Welcome to the channel.
Bear One says, also, if you have a Sam's Club near you, there are 50-piece ratcheting driver set by Haas. It's always interesting to see what shows up at those stores. It's funny because the Costco near us had a great selection of tools for several years. I went in one weekend and there was like no tools whatsoever, and I did a video on the fact that, yay, there's no tools. It's weird there's no tools here. And a lot of people got really angry that I was reporting about tools at a big box store like that. It was so weird. Like, real men don't buy tools there. I'm like, the fact that you don't know that they outsource or, wholesale tools through these companies is not my fault. Right now, a lot of those stores have Porter Cable in them. And William just subscribed. That's the other one. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Porter Cable, because somebody had made the comment that he thought that Porter Cable was going to be because they're going to stop selling it or carrying it much at Lowe's, and it's going to be this brand that Stanley Black & Decker offers to smaller stores or other stores to use as their house brand. And I thought, well, that's ridiculous. I don't think they'll actually do it. There's actually a sign that they might be doing just that. And that I was wrong, that he nailed it. So, I'll be interested to see if that's what happens with that. Also, we just read that. I have DeWalt for carpentry, light and mechanics tools by Milwaukee, and gardening by Bauer, all cordless. There you go. And as I say, a lot of people think you can only have one battery system for some reason. Willie says, isn't Craftsman building a new factory in Texas in 2020? Hopefully more USA-made mechanics tools. They are building a factory there. They're still going to be USA-made with foreign parts, and they're made by robots. So, it's not really a big win, if you ask me. I did a whole video on that, because people think that when they think of these factories, they think there's going to be this factory with, thousands of Americans working there. And really what you're getting is about the equivalent per square foot of a Walmart as far as employing people. And at about the same pay rate as well. Because it's not skilled people that they're hiring. Let's see here. Barbecue 76. I haven't had a chance to watch the best of 2019 video yet. Here's a couple tarps to the hammer. I know. Oh, towards the hammer. I know what it is you're talking about tomorrow. Nice.
Bing, ding, 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 ding. Oh, Paul St. Marie.
Paul St. Marie, Happy New Year!
Bing, ding, ding, ding.
I always think of, what's his name? Frosty the Snowman. Remember when they take his hat off and they put his hat back on? He
Yes.
comes back alive and first thing he says is, Happy New Year! Larry says, I enter to win the Makita giveaway. If I don't win, hopefully you do. If I don't win, hopefully you do, and then give it to me. Because no, it'd be great if somebody here, because I did put it in a video. It'd be great if someone on the channel won it. That would be super awesome. Echo says, I looked at tickets, 300 for the pass. I'll pass mini carpets, car parts / tools I could buy for that money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's always a hard choice.
Yes.
Sorry.
Derek says, been watching your channel for a long time. Finally pulled the trigger on the Hercules miter saw, and it's awesome. Thanks for the reviews and recommendations. That's awesome. Jackal GB says, Mrs. Bear's yawning. Hibernation time?
Yep. Mrs. Bear
Yeah.
thought about a nap, but didn't take one today, so. Little steepies.
Rodman says, when was the last time you went to CES? I've actually never been to CES. I've been to Comdex half a dozen times, back when there still was a Comdex, but I've never been to CES. You build it, you strike. Capri has some top-notch mechanics, tools, and products. Mosh has far more consumer and gadgety items in Europe. That's interesting.
Interesting.
Matt says, my industry, electronics, has been like that for about 20 years. That's it. How does his name look like that?
I don't know. I wondered that myself.
Lucas Pinedo, you're still here? You look cool. Well, thank you much. I'm just wondering how your name shows up like that. It shows up in a gray box and a check. Oh, he's verified.
Cool.
I don't know what that means.
Well, obviously he's amazing.
I feel like we must be in the presence of greatness or something.
And I keep kicking you under the table.
You do. You do that a lot, to be honest.
Thank you for calling me out.
How do I get verified? I want to get verified.
Yeah.
Do you get a pin or hat or something?
I'm thinking there might be like, you have to go in the back and there's like a searching
Is there like
X-rays.
like a club room, like a special room you get? There's like couches and coffins.
No, not that kind of room.
Oh.
Different kind of room.
The Leonard says Porter Cable has the best belt sander, and you can't beat the HD router. Give me a stick, I'll beat it. No, the Porter Cable. I mean, when it comes to like full boat, routers, like woodworkers, they still go with Porter Cable. Porter Cable is like the go-to brand, and the belt sanders are good too. I'm not a huge fan of belt sanders, but I don't do that kind of work with wood where I use one a lot. I have a stationary setup for one, but as far as a handheld one, I don't use those. Too easy for me to hog out too much wood with that. Let's see here.
A number of people are saying he says happy birthday, not happy New
Oh,
Year.
he might say that. Oh, I'm so ashamed.
Well, happy New Year. It's happy birthday
Same
for the
thing.
new year.
Same thing.
Right? Thank
What do you
guys
think
for
of the
keeping us honest.
Bosch Nanoblade saw? Is that little tiny thing? Looks like a little tiny chainsaw. Yeah, it is. Is that a real tool? I mean, who uses that? I gotta show you. Yeah, it's this little tiny chainsaw thing. I've seen pictures of it, but yeah,
Why? Why is my question. Excuse me.
Nice.
I have hiccups.
classy. That's right, guys. She's all mine.
I was going to say, I'm all his. That's right.
I don't think much of it, but maybe there's a use out for it that I don't recognize. Lucas says, I don't want not sure what that is. I'm rich. Wouldn't mind a hug, though. Well, here's a virtual hug for you.
Yes, we send hugs.
Yeah. He says, you sit in the presence of greatness, and you are cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. What happened with the YouTube not paying you ordeal? Hope it's resolved. It is resolved.
Honey,
Oh my
Patrick
gosh.
says you need to get verified.
I need to get verified.
That's right.
We need to do a shirt with that. 100% verified. Verified authentic.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole thing. I did a whole video on that, but we got it all fixed. And just the thing about it, the takeaway from it is that it's really tragic to know that a company as big as YouTube, that there are departments that don't understand basic concepts of accounting. These are concepts. They're not like just theories for accounting. And they're not just best practices. It's basically considered ethical accounting. And if you're doing it in a different way, you're shady. And they were doing it in a non-standard methodology that makes you go, well, what is it you're trying to do here? Because if you're doing it above board, this is the way it's supposed to be done. And I basically had to take their stuff, redo it in a spreadsheet properly, send it to them, and then also send them documentation showing that this is why has to be done this way. And that when they got that, it's almost like they realized, okay, this guy knows what's up. We can't screw around with him anymore, because it immediately got fixed once I was able to do that. So it's weird. Bear wants he's going to email us the extendable neck screwdriver and the ratcheting driver. By the way, somebody emailed me and I lost it and I can't figure out where it was. And if you're in the chat, I'm really sorry, I can't find it. Somebody asked about one of the 1/4-inch ratcheting like screwdriver sets. You've seen them; they look kind of like a dog bone. They're this big, and they've got a ratcheting bit in it. And you get some little pieces with it. Lowe's has one on sale right now for like $7. So it's in like the after Christmas, center pods kind of area. Ronald Smith says, what happened to the icon above your head? It told you how to chat with you.
I think he's been drinking. I read that one and I don't know.
I don't know. Are we having a Happy New Year, Ronald?
Apparently, Lucas is a little bit drunk.
Not that bad idea. Workbench says, if you hung out too much material using a belt sander, try the Craftsman one sold at Home Depot. I have it. It's gutless. That's a solution, isn't it?
Somebody was talking about how they like the vertical ones, though. I thought that was cool.
Lucas says he's having some fun, so. What's your opinion on Eastwood? I personally recommend the screwdrivers. I haven't dealt a lot with them, so I can't really say anything about them before.
Sorry.
Paul Samuel says AV attacks boxes with his mini chainsaw, or did until it died. Oh, I think I saw that. He was like using it to open the boxes or something. Seemed like a good way to lose a finger. I don't know. Maybe with that thing, probably not. YouTube doesn't understand humor or sarcasm either. Not so much.
Nope.
Oh, what time is it? We're getting close? 10:41.
We got
20 minutes to go
19
till
minutes.
the Rockies.
Yep.
Hit it. All right. And let's see. That's on that video. Alrighty. And Lucas says he's got a driver.
That's good.
I want a
Hopefully,
driver.
It's not you.
I'm usually the driver.
Yes.
Where's some more of those gumdrops?
And-
Elle had gumdrops. I need gumdrops.
I can get you gumdrops. Griffin tried one, and I think this was his face.
They're not the fruit flavor. They're the spicy kind.
No, they're not spicy.
Yeah, they are.
They're minty or something.
Yeah, that's called Spice Drops.
Oh my god.
You don't know your candy.
You don't know.
You don't know
You're
what
out
you
of
don't
order.
know. This whole chat room's out of order. Homeless shelters will take it. Lang makes a great set of 3 miniature quarter-inch bit ratchets, straight angled down and angled up. That's cool. Good. Thank you. I didn't even think about them. Oh, the icon above your head saying at Dental Tools. Just look up. It's there. Yeah, well, yeah, I put it there. I thought he said, what happened to it? I'm like, I don't know. It's right there. At first, I thought he was talking about this icon right here.
That? Mm-hmm. That's like eating toothpaste.
Holiday Spice Drops.
Okay, eat that and tell me that doesn't taste like toothpaste.
Spice Drops.
What kind of spice? Toothpaste?
Holiday Spice.
I think me and Griffin are in the same boat.
I prefer
that is
the fruit
disgusting.
ones, but I'll eat these.
Disgusting. With a B. Capital B.
All right. Here's a conversation. Away from tools. It's New Year's Eve. What?
I'm waiting for whatever's about to roll out of your mouth. Just like everybody else. Toothpaste drops.
Minty fresh. When I was a kid, I was on a lot of road trips. So my parents were divorced, and my whole father's side, from my grandparents on down, moved to Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. And my grandparents used to come out at the end of school, pick me up in an RV, and drive me back to Phoenix. I'd spend the summer in Phoenix, and then they'd drive me back. So I did that every year. My grandfather, the whole thing is about road snacks. So my grandfather always had Werther's butterscotch candies, hard candies. That was his thing. Driving down the road in the RV, listening to Willie Nelson, and eating Werther's, and other Patsy Cline, other traditional old school country kind of stuff. And then my mother, we do a lot of trips around the Midwest, and for us, it was always orange slices. And to this day, when I go on a long road trip, one of the first things I have to do is stop in a gas station
Somebody already said orange slices.
and get orange slices. That's my road trip snack. So these are close to orange slices.
KD2RDH Larry is the one he says, orange slices are the best candy. And he said that before you
Yep.
said that.
We just call him Larry. We don't have any other Larrys, so he's
Okay.
the Larry.
And I'm making the table crazy.
You are. You do it every single live
It's
stream.
because this chair is so uncomfortable.
I thought it was because you didn't know how far away from the table you were because you were not wearing your glasses.
Just keep eating your toothpaste mints. Toothpaste mints. They're
At least it's not
disgusting.
bourbon.
Thank the Lord. Yes.
Sounds like my kind of road trip.
Yep.
I gotta tell you, it was great. So I grew up, doing these trips every year in the RV, and just like my grandmother's, same grandparents, just like her car, they got a new RV every year, and
That's
it got bigger
crazy.
and bigger and bigger. Now, for those of you who are my age, I'm going to tell you, my grandfather worked for HUD. He was the Southwest Regional Manager for HUD. Now, if you remember what happened with HUD in the late 80s, you'll understand why he could afford it.
Ridge Runner, I agree. Peach rings are amazing.
That's disgusting.
And Matt, you need to go out and get some orange slices. That's what you got to do.
It's
in
imperative.
2020.
And bring
Yeah.
some back.
Yeah, just swing on by.
Grimmute's in the house. Hey!
No, we haven't had any drinks. We're just
We're teetotaling it tonight.
we're just naturally this amazing.
This bonkers.
That or your drinking makes us this amazing.
Just remember, folks, the more you drink, the funnier I am.
And the more you need a designated driver.
Yeah. If you're in the Vegas area and you need a designated driver,
Call AAA.
call us.
Oh, Yeah.
or email us.
Yeah.
I will come and get you. I don't want anybody to have a not see 2020 because they were too afraid to call someone.
Yeah. And it's Vegas, so
You need to call someone.
you need to call someone.
Oh, Matt says he hasn't had orange slices in forever. Well, that needs to change and change now. But yeah, it was. So I was gonna say, growing up with the RVs and stuff, I absolutely love that kind of traveling, and I felt so blessed when we bought our RV, and we got to take our kids. I'm gonna tell you something real personal. This is kind of sappy. My kids are from the West Coast. They had never seen the Midwest. They'd flown over it. They'd gone to the East Coast a few times, over to Jersey and New York, that kind of area, but they'd never seen the areas where I really grew up. And we decided to take them to. We were going to go to Montana for the summer, and we took a circuitous route, and we went up through Colorado, through the Eisenhower Pass, through Denver, up into Wyoming, over into Nebraska, and then through the Dakotas. We saw Mount Rushmore and all that, up to North Dakota, then back over to Montana and stuff. And doing that trip that I'd done so many times with my grandparents, with our kids, it actually, at one point I was really choked up. It was too much. Anyway, I hope you all get to experience something like that, but it was a lot of fun to be able to take my kids and give them the same experience I had when I was growing up. Willie says, See's Candy's peanut brittle. Wow. Yep. Peanut brittle was my grandfather on my mother's side, Earl. And he loved the peanut brittle. That was his thing.
Lucas, my friend, I'm so glad that you have a designated driver, but you may have a few phone calls since you put your phone number in the chat.
Yeah.
From folks.
That could happen.
So, just be prepared.
Maybe it's a cab.
Maybe.
Anyway, as Ridge Runner says, a cab is cheaper than a DUI or a funeral.
Yep. And maybe give Lucas a call and give him some funny voicemails.
Paul C. Marie says, orange slices and spearmint leaves are the bomb, but I can't have such things anymore. Sadness.
Jay Bedlam, I do not need a designated driver, but I will give you $20 to finish up my billing work. Here's my question. What kind of billing is it? I might be interested.
I was going to say, we kind of like doing that kind of paperwork.
I kind of like doing that stuff.
If it's spreadsheets,
I'm a big old dork.
If it's spreadsheets, I can get into it. I'm the kind of person who I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Don't want to do this. I'll start doing it, and 5 hours later, she's like, "We need to go do something." I'm like, "Just a second. I need to do this pivot table so I can find out what."
Yeah, he really is like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, where are you? Vegas? Just Gramoot, I am so sorry that you didn't realize it was the new year for an hour.
Oh.
Welcome to the
Happy New Year!
Woo!
Tool has, ever since Uber has been invented, there's no need to drink and drive. I can say Uber is an excellent solution. I really think that's a great business model for Uber, but for the users too. I think the drivers are getting kind of the short end of the shaft on that. But yeah, I mean, it's so much less expensive and easier to use than trying to call a cab or get a cab. I mean, I used to deal with cabs when I lived in San Francisco. Man, I hated it. And those guys drove I felt like it was in a movie. Going over the, catching air and stuff. Oh, it was ridiculous. Matt says, Southwest Missouri and Northwest Arkansas is well represented in the Den of Tools, as is Iowa, surprisingly enough.
Yes.
I grew up mostly in Iowa. Both sides of my family are from Iowa.
Michigan.
We got Michigan is well represented. There's a bit of Illinois. There's Nebraska if Client Graphics is still here. Nebraska's in the house. So we got it all. And usually there's a lot of Florida, and a lot of the Southwest, Arizona, Southern California, a little bit of Northern California.
Ew, litigation support. I don't know if
oh,
billing for that. Maybe I'll just send you some orange slices. Sorry. Yeah.
Pizza. Oh, I could go for some pizza.
Bear One said you missed it, but what screwdriver ratcheting things were at Lowe's in the New Year pod things? What is that? I don't know what that is. I'm so glad you're here to translate what people are saying.
He missed it or I missed it? He missed it.
He said you missed it at the Den of Tools. So maybe my thought is that maybe he asked a question and we somehow missed it earlier.
I was talking about the 1/4-inch ratcheting bit drivers.
Okay.
That's the only kind of ratcheting. There was so much. I was gonna do a video, but then it didn't seem like, because I went through and I videoed all of the Lowe's stuff, and I was gonna do a video on it, but honestly, there didn't seem anything to write home about. Like, I can remember going to Home Depot 3 years ago, and everything was on sale, deep discount, a lot of the HDX stuff, just blowing it out. And this year just didn't seem like there was much, other than the power tools that I showed before. I think definitely if there was any one big, like, wow, I can't believe how cheap that was, it was the Metabo Impact for $50. That's incredible.
Barbecue 76, I totally
Anybody
hear
remember
ya.
that TV show?
What?
That's Incredible? With Fran Tarkenton?
No.
Okay.
No one remembers
Go on.
that. Barbecue 76 says, why is it if I drink 12 ounces, I pee 24 ounces? At least it seems like that. I agree. That just means you're really hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I also feel that happens every time you take a road trip. I feel like my bladder it's like when you're on a plane and you're sitting down before you take off. Immediately, my bladder's like, oh my gosh, I have to pee, like, right now. And I'm like, well, calm down, because we have, like, 20 minutes of taxiing before we can get in the air and go to the bathroom. Yeah, litigation support, sorry. Larry says, I'm in New Jersey. I went to Sturgis a few years ago. Seeing Mount Rushmore left me speechless. Never been west of Pennsylvania before that. So, Sturgis is amazing, as is Mount Rushmore. I have been quite a number of times. And it has been beautiful every single time.
I was stunned. So, I remember going to Mount Rushmore as a kid. I think I was like 11 or 12. And I was like, this is amazing. Because I thought it was another national park. Yeah, whatever. And I just remember being sitting there stunned. It was just amazing. And I really wanted to take my kids, but I was afraid that they wouldn't appreciate it the same way that I did. And they did. They sat there practically just, open mouth, like, this is incredible, blah, blah, blah. Of course, Griffin now says, well, I didn't even really look at it. I didn't care. I'm like, I've got pictures of you. I got video just sitting there like this.
They were excited about snacks.
No, they weren't. They were sitting there looking at it, and they sat there through the whole movie thing, and they really enjoyed that stuff.
They
and
had a good time.
I loved it. And then we were there the week of Sturgis, and drove through Sturgis the day before it officially started, and it was already unofficially going off.
5 minutos más.
5 minutes?
Yes. For those of you that do not speak my version of Spanish,
Yeah.
it's 5 minutes.
I don't know if anybody speaks your version.
Yeah, nobody speaks my version of English either. Hey, Arkansas. Hello, Wisconsin. Texas. Now Louisiana.
Oklahoma. And,
Larry's still up and still at work.
Oh.
Okay, sorry.
Paul St. Marie says, watch out or I'll send you a copy of my tap and drill spreadsheet.
Bring it.
That is not a threat. Red@denoftools.com. I would love to see that. Jeff says, Happy New Year from Bozeman. Bozeman, when are you going to go do that shot of whiskey? No whiskey tonight. It's a dry county for us here tonight.
PA representing.
Woohoo! Texas now, Louisiana native. Chicago in the house. Send pizza. We need pizza.
Matt grew up in western Michigan, close to where Daughter of Ra is.
Oh, wow.
Wisconsin.
Hey, Michael, in Michael in Chicago, is Eduardo's Pizza still a thing? They used to do a stuffed spinach pizza that was amazing.
That one's
I got an
escaping.
eating problem.
Bear One says, asked about those things at Lowe's or Home Depot because I kind of blanked out on it except for the price being like $7 and he missed the first time asking. So it's all potato.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. All potato?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Major weakness, no weakness in 2020. Happy New Year.
That's right. Missouri, but spitting distance from Arkansas.
My body is in Oregon, but my mind is in Montana. Oh, heck yeah.
Yep.
I like Western Oregon. It's pretty nice. You know, it's a beautiful state. Absolutely beautiful state. Joe Smith grew up and schooled in Iowa. Because we know how to read and write from there.
Yep.
Um...
Oh, wow. Larry said, I liked Mount Rushmore so much that I took the helicopter flight up to see it. It's amazing. It was the Sturgis 75th year. So...
Isn't that when we were there? Where's my hat?
Solo poquito habla español.
You need to stop that.
Somebody asked if I spoke Spanish, and I'm saying I speak a teeny tiny bit.
Est-ce que tu parles français?
Yeah, I don't speak any of that.
Yeah. Because you ain't got no class.
Daughter of Rock came back because she heard her name. That's right. We're talking about you. How much we love you. How close we live. Dwayne
No, it was
says,
2015 was the 75th.
Okay, so... And I was there...
Must have been like 77.
Do math. I was there...
The
I
12th
would say,
anniversary?
Yeah, the 12th anniversary. I'm having to Google this because math is not.
It's a
I
live
was
stream,
there
you know.
in 91, so the 50th anniversary.
Live stream means you have to keep talking.
You could keep talking, Mr. Toothpaste Mint Eater.
Take these away from me. I don't need any more of this.
Yep.
I'm already minty fresh.
So I think it was there for the 50th with my dad, and it was really fun. And we had a good time taking our kids.
Where did you get that picture taken?
The one of me and my dad?
Yeah.
That was there
Yeah.
at Sturgis. There's a picture of me and my dad. I'm dressed up like a saloon woman, and my dad is dressed up as how would you describe it? Like
him.
well, yeah.
Just like him.
Like a mountain man.
It's one of those old vintage,
Yeah.
done in the what's the
1 minute.
the photographic term, the sepia.
Sepia. 1 minute. Have
1
a
minute.
blower thingy.
1 minute.
1 minute. Almost. Happy
Time
New
check.
Year.
Going by universal internet time.
Our time.
Why don't I have anything with a second hand? There it is! Happy New Year!
You're
Why is Logan-
defective. Oh my gosh. You're going to knock out my eyeball live on TV.
Live and uncensored.
Live on the internet.
I just got notification that your mom's flight was delayed.
Oh. I sent that picture. I sent that text message yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Moto is a lazy slug.
My mom came to visit for like 4 days, and the kids, we all had a great time.
Oh, Dirk texted me.
Toolhead 147. So yes, I speak a very minimal amount of Spanish.
I can order tacos and tequila.
Yeah.
I'm really good at ordering tequila in Spanish.
Yep.
Um,
Daughter of Rock came back to hear her name.
Bear One says potato is something that he uses as a universal word. All the parts of speech, both positive, negative, and indifferent, it's a variable, as you would use in math. Like you'd use X, well,
Where are you reading this?
on the internets.
You're special.
Michael Gamboni says, Gambroni, I can never pronounce it. Michael says, I worked there in high school. The one by me closed down, but I think they're still around. I see them in the frozen section of the grocery store now. What's he talking about?
He's talking about the pizza place you asked.
Oh, the pizza.
about.
Oh, I did. I did
Yeah.
ask.
And
Sorry.
he hasn't had anything to drink.
Oh.
So. Yep.
Daughter, Happy New Year 2 hours ago, Joe Smith.
Oh, just screaming your name.
Midnight Mountain Time. That means
So-
for our house, it's New Year's.
That's right. Mr. Tickle says, I've only had sparkling wine once before. How does one put the cork back in?
You don't.
You don't.
No.
It's not something you save for another day.
No. Larry said that they did those old-timey photos, too.
Oh, cool. I do not know where I have the photo of my dad, but it was super great, and I had so much fun.
Matt says, I grew up in a lake town in a national forest, moved to the city for 30 years, and now live in a lake town and forest again. Matt, that's too funny because I grew up in, cattle country, farming, rural America. And then, I moved to Cincinnati, then moved to the San Francisco Bay Area, which is a big, big city. And then ended up living in the Central Valley where we had our kids and then where they grew up mostly. And, it was a town of 10,000 people. We had cattle farms and dairy farms everywhere and stuff. And it was like kind of circle of life kind of thing. And now our house is nowhere near where I used to live.
Nope.
Up in the mountains. It's awesome.
Rodman speaking French to you. I think he's saying, Je m'appelle Rodman.
His
My
name's
name
Rodman?
is Rodman.
Yeah. Where was it? Bear One says, you have to email me those ratchet things, not the ones that you originally were needing to tell you, but they sound interesting.
Okay.
I will. Maybe I will put that video up.
Michael says, 1 hour to go. Us too.
You mean that Moto finally got you that message a century behind, a year behind? Yeah, exactly.
Rodman also said, très bien.
Yeah, very good.
Gramut says, holy crap, I'm obviously lagging about a minute behind in this stream. It's 1:02 here. When do we count down? We count down every hour for all of our friends.
Every hour. On the hour.
Yes.
There's my second timer. I'm like, I knew I had a clock right here that did seconds. Knew we'd get there eventually.
Yep. And the Shaggy Rifleman. Well, you have a good night, everyone. A new decade lies ahead of me. Have a
Good
great
night. You have a good one.
Yes, Rodman would like more tequila. Or a lot of tequila.
Or a lot of tequila.
Yeah.
Go ahead and keep reading comments. I'm looking for something here.
So Mr. Chickle says, well, that's about $4 sparkling wine that's going to waste. And he says, no big deal. I have a 1.75 bottle of Belvedere for $40. It was on sale too. Oh, Michael says the way that you say my last name is Jambroni. Jambroni.
He told us that before. And I'm going to forget it again. I'm terrible with names. I don't even know
We're
what her
really
name
sorry.
is.
Yeah, I don't even know who you are. You just seem nice.
Well, you left the front door open, so I came in.
Well, and you make really cute kids, so.
Yeah, well, there's that. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out how to show you guys something here.
What about cold chicken and beans?
Cold chicken and beans?
Major weakness, did you get in trouble? Why are you having
chicken and
cold
beans?
chicken and beans?
They have these things called microwaves.
Thinking about TGI McScratchies from The Simpsons.
I never watched The Simpsons, so...
I didn't either. I wasn't allowed a television.
Because of the x-rays?
Yep.
Hippie.
Do you own any Ryobi tools?
Yes. I have one. and I bought it just for testing last week. I used to own some Rabby tools, and I got them just to try them out, see what they're like. They're decent. I ended up giving them away because I didn't need them, and I don't know why I never really did a video on them. But yeah, I bought like the basic set that came with the drill driver, the flashlight, the recip saw, and the circ saw. And they were okay for homeowner kind of stuff, for basic around the house, do-it-yourself kind of stuff. They were just fine for that.
So, I know you're doing something, and I'm just chatting away. Bear One says, do you know if
Ethan, what would you like for Christmas? Earphones? Earphones? All right.
I'm ready. Earphones.
Hi, what's your name?
What?
Delilah.
Hold on, we'll come back
What
to
would
that.
you like for Christmas?
This is what I wanted to show you guys. I was with the Cubs. We went to Bass Pro Shops, and it's attached to a casino. I'm sorry.
All right,
And the
talk
casino
to you.
has this big
Like the
round
chips?
aquarium that they
Oh,
often
well,
have
that'll be easy.
mermaids in. But because it's the holidays,
What's
they
your
got
name?
Santa. And I'd never
What
showed
would
this
you
to
like
you.
for Christmas?
And I was just looking for something else, and I ran across it. So
A Nintendo Switch.
So
Okay.
this is Santa, and he's got there's an elf in there with him also. She's in there somewhere, I'm sure. You see Santa's in there too?
What's your name?
Michaela,
Michaela, what would you like for Christmas?
a mermaid tail.
A mermaid tail. Awesome.
It's a really beautiful aquarium, and it's free to go check out the shows and stuff. Yes, this is a
What's your
great
name?
mid-range casino.
And what would you like for Christmas?
And box.
All right. Oh, the candy cane.
This house.
And what's your
I
name?
don't know about staying.
And what would you
Never
like for
stayed
Christmas?
at the Silverton, but we
A PS4?
there,
Okay.
gambled there, we hung out and stuff. We've gone to some shows there. It's nice.
And what's your name?
Oh, there's
And
the.
what do you want Santa to bring you for Christmas?
Video going.
All right. Awesome.
There. Sorry.
Thank you for letting us know. That was a weird cutoff if Mrs. the Bear. Kermit says, I'm scared. What's going on? Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Somebody else is like, what's happening? Sorry, guys.
That was just for those of you who were drinking.
Yeah, you guys are all underwater now.
I was looking for the video that I took at Lowe's that I was going to share. Griffey, you can't put that back here, okay?
Alright.
But you can stand if you want. Come over here so people can see you.
It's okay.
You're young enough. You can stand for a while. You'll be all right. Here, I'll move the arm. You can come up here. Here, why don't you sit on my lap? There you go. You're like in the driver's seat.
Oh my
Come on.
goodness.
All right. There he is. Say hi. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
You gonna make it for New Year's?
Yes.
Yeah.
Only 51 more minutes, and then it'll be a whole new year. A whole new
The
decade.
teens
Are
will be
over.
gone.
Then it's gonna be like the 20s.
The 20s.
We're gonna
I can
have to
live
like
in my
put you in
20s.
like a dapper suit. You can have like a
New technology will come out this year.
New
technology.
technology. It does that every year. Just so
these
you
are
know.
his predictions. So you guys better be taking notes. New technology.
And also, just so you know, they rarely come out with old technology.
Sometimes they sell it for more than
Yeah,
they used
yeah.
to though.
Let's
Because
see
it's
here.
so old and you can't get it. But
Where was that? So sorry, for those of you who didn't hear, that was the Silverton Casino. It's attached. We're at Bass Pro Shops, and the two are attached because it's Vegas, and you have to be attached to a casino for some reason. And it's a big round aquarium there. It's really beautiful, and they do mermaid shows on Saturdays.
They do it like 3 times during the week,
Yeah.
but yes, Saturday.
But for the holidays, instead of having mermaids, they had Santa and his helpers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool. It's free to go down to. It's a great place to take the kids just to hang out and watch them swim around. The fish, even when the mermaids aren't there, it's a gorgeous aquarium just to watch the fish and whatnot. So
Sorry, I'm reading some of these. Gramoot says Santa.
it's drowning. Yes.
Ah, sorry.
So I was looking for the video that I took from all the accessory shopping at Lowe's, and it wasn't in that folder. I think it's still on the camera. I think I haven't downloaded it yet. So But I ran across that and I wanted to share it. And of course, I didn't even think about the volume that it would actually have sound associated with it. You live and learn, right?
So, Rodman says, I only had 2 beers. What am I seeing? Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
Okay. Yes. Jackal says, happy birthday. Happy New Year's, Mr. and Mrs. Bear and family. 2 a.m. here for me. Time to hibernate for the night. Good night.
Good night.
Have a
Good
good
night.
night.
Good
Just
night.
a reminder to anyone
Night.
else who may be out drinking, call a cab, call a friend,
Call an Uber.
call an Uber.
Don't drive home.
Don't
That's
drive
right.
Especially if you don't have a car.
Raising Gracie, if you don't have a car. Words to live by, folks, right here.
Don't hardwire a car.
He's gonna start writing a book on,
Yep.
on priceless sayings.
Good life.
Griffin
choices.
the Bear.
Yep.
Raising Gracie says, I know I'm getting old. When I used to, New Year's used to be a party, but now heading to bed sounds exciting. Good night, everyone, and see you again in 2020.
Yes.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I'm looking forward to it. So Silverton has a competing fish tank with Bass Pro. They do. And I will say this, it's better than the Bass Pro Shop one. The Bass Pro Shop one has some cool fish. They have some huge sturgeon in there.
Like, they are like this big.
They're as big as you. They're much bigger than that.
Yep.
They're bigger than you. But yeah.
No,
So
no, they're not.
yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Toolhead says he's been to that casino a long time ago.
Yep.
Let's see here. What do you think about the new MX fuel line from Milwaukee? It looks interesting. I haven't done a close enough look at it. It is so far beyond what most viewers here are going to have any interest in. It is, it's their high power industrial grade tools and lighting. Like the big cement saws. I will say the lighting system looks pretty cool. Just the fact that it's remote control, you can send the mast up and down and everything. Here, hop over there. You get the co-pilot seat. There you go. And don't play on her phone.
I'm just looking.
Oh, you're reading the comments?
Yes.
Okay. It's not something that most
Especially
people-
if you don't have a car, a good one.
Yes. It's not something even most professionals will use. It's a very niche, high-end market. And it's probably not something that we're going to cover much here. Ridge Raider says, got some new tools this year for Christmas and picked up one of those Craftsman VersaStack systems. Hopefully we'll get a chance to make some vids on it soon. That's a cool system. Just so you know, it's compatible with the DeWalt and the Stanley, I think it's called the T-Lock system. So if you don't mind mismatched colors, you can often pick up some units that aren't available in the different lines because they'll have some different compartmental. The way they do the compartments are different. Also, sometimes one's on sale and another one isn't. You can find the Stanley one is going away or has gone away. So sometimes you can find that on clearance.
Just don't call me late for. Just call me for dinner late.
Yeah, call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. Labradog? Is that the Labradog?
Is that the
Come here.
Labrador?
Come on. Oh my gosh.
It's
Oh my
the
gosh.
Labrador.
Come here. What are you doing? Come here.
Come on. Come on. Look at the.
He's trashing.
Look at the camera.
Uh-huh. Look, right here. Say hi. No. 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 Oh, you're spaz.
Oh my goodness.
Meth lab. Oh, so exciting. Being on
Do you know
camera
if
always makes
the
you excited.
Hercules radio will have hybrid power, and if it will be 12 or 20 volt from before Mrs. Baird got.
Cut off by the light on. I do know it's supposed to be the 20 volt system. I don't know if it'll be dual power. The Bauer radio is not. The Bauer Light is. I don't know. That's a good question. I'll see if I can get that answered. Time for White Castles.
What?
It is the White Castling hour.
Okay, I need a power cord for my phone. It's about to die. Also, I think we may have lost Little Miss Princess Bear.
Oh, did she not make it?
Yep.
Oh, she was looking pretty sleepies.
Yep.
She's going to be so bummed. She does this every year.
Well, she also, passes out at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. She made it later than normal. She got close. All right.
Okay, we have a subscriber named John Sencora. I might have pronounced it incorrectly. Every single time I see you, I think it's John Cena.
Yeah, I know. Every time I look at that,
And I got excited for you for a minute. Griffey.
I was about to,
would
because I
go
looked at
nuts.
the John,
Really
I was like,
loves
oh my
John
god,
Cena.
is it him?
Yeah, I know.
Let's see here. In and Out is okay. He prefers Five Guys.
It's
For
good. but the
burgers,
vibe's totally different. I had parents.
who makes the
Great
best
Dane fall asleep in
greasy?
Griffey.
Sorry, I'm sorry. You were reading something. What was it?
What's it? I had my parents' Great Dane fall asleep in my wild snoring. 150 pounds onto of me, her snoring in my face.
That's
Is it
a whole lot of
doggy?
dog.
Is that a doggy?
Yeah.
Whataburger. I know what it is that I like. Johnny Rockets. The one thing I'm upset is Johnny Rockets changed their French fries years ago. They used to do the super long shoestring potatoes, French fries, and now they just do standard. They still call them shoestring, but they're not. They're like McDonald's style fries. And
When do we when is it officially New Year's?
When
it
it's
is right
midnight.
now.
Huh?
It is New Year's right now.
Just
For
Hey.
2/3 of our viewers.
Wait.
Three-quarters of our viewers.
Other people?
For us?
For other people,
us,
it's a
for
different time zone. Remember when we're in our house in Montana? It's a different time.
It's 1 minute faster, Mom.
No, it's an hour. It's
1 minute faster.
No, I'm confused. It's an hour.
1
right?
minute faster.
What is?
Time.
Montana's 1.
1 hour.
Okay.
Wait,
Now
Hi,
you've done it.
Bear One says, I'll holler at you later. Hope all my chat and emails don't cause trouble. I gotta hibernate now. Hugs and love from Florida Bear to your family. Hey man, no problem. Always, if I don't get back to you sooner, it's just because life and things. I'm not ignoring anybody. I try to answer any and all emails and stuff. I love, chatting with you guys. It's why we're here. Paul Simmery says, White Castle's the inventor of the slider when that's referred to the aftermath. Man, if you've ever been... The other thing is, when I lived in the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area, they have this style of chili there that is... It's a Greek style, and they often serve it over spaghetti with beans and shredded cheddar cheese. And that's the other alternative that's kind of in the same kind of category. Cheese. The one thing I do miss from the East Coast are the late night diners. You go in there and you open the menu, and it's like every restaurant rolled into one. You got the Chinese, you got the Italian, you got Mexican, you got American. They got everything at those places. Oh, thank you. That was so kind of you.
Especially because Mom only gave you one and then you gave it to Dad. That was so sweet of you.
Oh, here, you can have those back.
Nope. I'm going to give him mine.
Okay.
There you go, little man. Got a good heart.
Tommy smothered in gelatinous chili. Don't forget to make Mrs. DeBear an email and the Lowe's video. Real interesting what you found. I will. The video for tomorrow, though, is going to be the catalog video. The January sales flyer. Five Guys is like the price of 3/4 pounders at McDonald's. Yeah.
You mean 5 pounders?
A&W is the other place I used to really like. They had really salty burgers.
See, yeah.
What were you doing?
Barbecue 76 says, you missed my previous 2 comments, so you're not wanting to share the craziness. I did. Did you put at dinner tools?
I think, oh no, I do not hear whether...
No, you typed in Ren of Tools. So, that's why I didn't see it. You used many tools over the years. I'm sure you didn't always follow safety protocol, and I'm sure there's a good story behind one of those times. More to come. Yeah. There's been a couple times where I have not done something very bright, and unfortunately, yeah. So the let's see here. What have I done? Well, trying to move fast on a job site. I have cut 2x4s using my knee as a sawhorse. You know, kind of one hand on the knee, just kicking it off. And I was using the boss's saw and cut through his cord. He was not pleased about that.
That's what I was thinking of.
I'll be back.
The next day, he did the same thing. Shot a block of wood through a 6-foot by 10-foot window. Solid, single pane. Right through the center. After chewing me out for having done just that. There was
I get my seat back.
I'll be back when it's 2020.
Okay. He's going to come back.
Last year, I did something stupid. I had this idea for a project with PVC, and I was sick as a dog, and I was on medication, and I had no business being near power tools. None whatsoever, but she wasn't in the room, and I had this brilliant idea came to me. And so I'm like, I could just notch it real quick with the miter saw. And I'm thinking, well, because the miter saw, it's pulling away from you, so I mean, what harm could happen, right? So I go in there, and I set this down, and I'm notching out the section of PVC pipe with the miter saw. And I remember thinking that, for some reason, that I needed to twist the workpiece to get the right angle that I wanted. This is how sick I was. And of course, I do that, and it's the same as if you're on a table saw, and you didn't have a kerf on it, and it caught the workpiece, but luckily because it wasn't running towards me, it was running away from me. At least I was thinking that much. Shot it into the saw, and exploded into PVC shards everywhere. The only good thing is that I was at least smart enough to put on eye protection, because I had needles of PVC flying everywhere that I had to clean up later. And I was like, nope, time for me to not be in the shop. So,
What about the time with your arm?
which time?
With the kickback with the wood?
Oh, the table saw, the kickback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. I was working on...
Little person drank all my drink.
Yeah. I was working on a table saw that had a kerf blade on it, but the kerf blade the bolt had gotten loose, and it had slid down and was not up to the top of the blade, and I was cutting just a little bit, and it was one of those things where, again, I was like, I got this idea, I want to run out to the shop and do this. And because I was in a hurry, I wasn't thinking, and I took a 1x1 piece of plywood and sent it sailing like a frisbee across the shop. Now, luckily, I was doing all the rest of my stuff correctly. I was to the side. I wasn't in front of the blade. I had eye protection. I was doing all that, but I hadn't noticed that the kerf blade wasn't right where it was, and the cut was... It was a little bit sketchy for how I was trying to do it. Normally, I wouldn't have had a problem. If there'd been a kerf guard on it, it wouldn't have been a problem. And I sent it flying over there. There's been a number of times I've had something bind up on the drill press when I've been drilling steel and been in too much of a hurry, and had something spin around on the drill press. Every single time, it's always been a case of I was in a hurry. So...
Brahms apparently is like amazing, and they have their own dairy and ice cream. Have you heard of them?
I've
I'm
heard of
guessing
Chopin.
Michigan. Braums. I'm guessing.
Tchaikovsky? Brahms?
I'm gonna. Yeah. I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Janet Garber says Skyline Chili. Oh yeah. You know, I hate to admit it, I kind of like Gold Star a little bit better, but Skyline is usually considered to be the best. I think I like their conies better. Also Empress. Empress had some good stuff.
I think it's Solo Excess. Thank you for subscribing or for joining. Larry says listen to this. He says the diners are convenient and they have a lot of options, but they don't do any of them well. What do I always say? That you can get all kinds of things, but nobody specializes in.
Nothing's great.
Yeah.
But it's all okay. But at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's just what you need.
Aww. Gramoot Travel Save. It says, Den of Tools. Sorry, I got to get to bed. Got a long drive in the morning to Fort Hood to return my son to the U.S. government. Have a wonderful New Year.
Happy New Year. Larry says rigid vacuums are bulletproof. I'd be willing to put that to the test. Rodman said, no, they are good. They are good. They're excellent. They're a no-brainer choice.
Larry says to Gramoot, thank him for his service.
Oh, thank you. Or thank him.
Yes.
Paul Samurai says, oh God, Skyline and Red Star is, I think made Gold Star, but yeah. Rodman says, there's a Johnny Rockets about half an hour south of me in San Marcos. I'll try them ASAP. And they do good milkshakes too. Let's see here. Oh, there's a story you got to read about Indianapolis and the White Castle and 3 judges. Go to a Google search
in the morning.
for judges arrested Indianapolis White Castle. And it is a hot mess sandwich with a side of gravy.
Yeah.
Oh. What's a good shop vac for job sites? As he said, the go-to default that pretty much everyone says is great is rigid, and they really are. They're the go-to no-brainer choice for shop vacs. I will say the new Bauer shop vac is excellent, but it's one size, and if that size isn't what you're looking for or something, the rigid is probably the one you want to go with. Where else was I? Hey, Bear Family, hope you are having a good New Year's. David Graham says, we are. Dwayne Larson says, at Den of Tools. Yeah. Paul Marie. Lesson number 1, never cut round bar on a bandsaw without clamping it to a V-block. Yeah. David says, I saw your show on the Discovery Channel. You are a beast. I was on the Discovery Channel.
Bears.
Is that some more of that, like, behind the scenes, up raw and uncensored?
Yep.
What is that one show there? They put him in like a cage or a ball, and they let the bear go at him.
I don't know. But
That's
I'm not
ridiculous. Gravia says, "Oh, you were just read that. That's one where he's got to go." First time I tried ripping on a radial arm saw, I sent a board flying through the garage door. I've heard that one before. And again, that's another one of the benefits of the radial arm saw, is that, as opposed to a table saw, is the blade spinning away from you. I've honestly strongly considered going back to the radial arm saw. I may, maybe for the house up in Montana, when I build my shop up there, we may go that route. I think I might do that.
Dwayne said, first time I tried ripping on a radial arm saw, I sent a board flying through the garage door.
That's what we literally just read.
Well, I obviously wasn't listening.
It's okay.
I said it better.
You're not here for the comments. You're just here to add the beauty portion to the show.
Sorry. This is what you got.
Well, we don't have high standards here, so
that's right.
It's all good. I mean, look at me. Let's see here. How many parents want to give their kids to the U.S. government? Well, there are moments.
Yeah, I'm like, can we just drop them off for a while?
God says everything is sourced locally. Beef comes from nearby ranches. You know what? That reminds me. There's a ranch I've been wanting to try up in Montana, and I think what we should do when we get up there for the summer is we should go buy a quarter cow, and then that could be our beef for the season, and probably have enough to share with some friends and stuff. Do some big barbecues and whatnot.
A ranch you want to try?
They do corn or grass-fed beef.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, are we buying a ranch now? Because this is news
Yes,
to me.
yes, we are. Do you ever play World of Tanks? I played World of Tanks when it first came out.
What's this World of Tanks that we speak of?
Yes. But more than that, World of Warships, I really got into. One of the guys I worked with was a little bit older than me, and he had a secret hobby I didn't find out until just a few years ago, that he built remote control battleships, like 8 feet long, with BB gun turrets, and they do remote control battles on these ponds against other people. And he's just he's the nicest guy, but he's so kind of like, he just seems very, how would you describe Doug? Just very,
Doug.
yeah, he's not like he's definitely the pocket protector sort than the let's go out and blow things up sort.
Right.
I'm definitely more the rednecky, here, hold my beer, let's see if we can do this kind. He doesn't come across as that. He's a lot more reserved. And, but anyway, he got me into World of Warships. And, because I'm kind of a World War II buff. I grew up with the history and stuff. I think it was being born in Germany and that kind of stuff kind of added to it.
Old.
And I'm old. Yeah, that's, but no, I did try World of Tanks. I've played it a bit, but World of Warships is more my jam. I don't know whether I like playing the destroyers with the torpedoes more, or if I like just playing the big battleships, sitting back and just, raining hell on people.
Apparently there's an echo from the missus.
What?
Larry said there's an echo from the missus. I get that a lot here, too.
Ah.
Is that me repeating what you're saying?
I guess, yes.
Yes. Matt says he'd give up his miter saw for a good radial arm saw.
Yeah?
And George was saying the show was Man versus Bear.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Paul St. Marie says, I generally prefer my Raz to the table saw for everything but ripping. Yeah, ripping on a Raz is a bit of a setup. Because you have to go perpendicular usually. And so you're going this way, or you're going, I guess, almost parallel. Because usually you're having the saw where you're moving it to rip. Now you have to take that saw head, turn it perpendicular to the arm, then come around to the side of the table, and then push through. What's to go cordless vacuum? I plan on using it to help clean out refrigerator compressors and coils. Oh, cordless vacuums. I don't know. I know there's been a few that have come out recently.
Toolhead said he's answering Novice Nick and says there is a rigid 9-gallon 18-volt vac from Home Depot.
There you go.
Hello from Alaska, Sam Smith.
Rodman said, I just read the Judge's White Castle story. Ugly. Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
Yep. Yeah. There's a whole lot of what were you thinking?
Sean says, I gave my two oldest to the Navy. They're both out now. That's awesome. Congratulations for them. In fact, a very good friend of mine, his oldest is just about to go into the Navy. Uh-huh. He's ex-Navy himself, so.
Yep.
Rodman says, I got a rigid vac. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Uh-huh. I don't blame you.
God says, yeah, World of Warships is awesome too. Love both of them. I'm a Leroy Jenkins kind of player. Kamikaze.
Leroy Jenkins.
I love cruisers, and you can broadside and just lose all 20 guns. Kaboom.
Yeah.
Dave said Skyline is avoided at all costs. He's not a fan at all.
Oh, how can you not be a fan of Skyline?
Really?
Yeah.
I meant
Oh.
just make sure you turn the volume down.
Just,
And not.
you've got lots of rules. You know that?
I do.
I don't know what's up with all these rules.
Tool has said, I love my Rigid. It's a beast. Big and heavy, though.
Just like me. Yes.
I'm just making sure we didn't miss anybody.
Uh-huh. All right, I got another video to share with you guys. What are your thoughts about what's going on in Virginia? David, I'll be honest, I made a comment on my Facebook page for those of you who are on there, and that was that basically I stand with the free counties of Virginia. Whatever they want to do, it's fine by me. The problem with ripping on Raz is that the blade wants to lift the work off the table. Yeah, but that's a lot easier to... Well... Yeah, I do know that is the one problem. But that's a much better problem to have than the problem with the table saw where it wants to shoot it into your face. So... I think I am caught up, which is why I'm going to share a video with you. So this is from the same trip. I've got the media source volume turned down on this.
And I'm wearing the same jeans I'm wearing this evening.
Are you?
Yep,
Okay.
sure am.
Yeah, let's see here. Here we go. This is the, we've been looking for a side-by-side, or maybe even one of these, like, this is more of a, a supercharged golf cart, if you will. We're looking to get one for use up in Montana because you can drive it around town. And I don't know. I kind of like this. I like that it. Well, I like that it's a lot less expensive than your typical 4 and 5 seaters you'll see for the side by sides. I also like the fact that it's got that traditional kind of service golf cart back end where it's got the the back seats. That then, if you don't have people back there, you can fold it down into a flat cargo area. So if I needed to run down to the hardware store and pick something up, or run to the shop or something, we could put stuff back there. There's the Cubs having a good day.
I love how Duncan's really engaged with the camera. He's like, what?
He's trying to be cool.
It's hard to be 13.
Yeah, being 13, I gotta look cool for my homies.
Yeah.
What homies those are, I have no idea.
That was really weird because I was expecting the video to keep going and then I just saw myself. That was...
You were also in the video.
I know, but not live.
Paul says you can also get old cast iron DeWalt Raz on Craigslist for under $150. I had one. I had a 9-inch that I was planning to do something in the shop. I just didn't have any room for it. I picked it up for, I think it was $90. I sold it for, I think it was close to $200. Some guy came out, a bunch of vintage tools. We were getting ready to move, and some guy came in and bought like 4 of them. And he was just like a pig in slop, happy to find all these vintage tools that I'd fixed up mostly, and he was thrilled. He got that. He got a planer.
I remember that guy.
He got the old jigsaw. Yeah, he was more than happy. The boat looked more entertaining, but the side by side with mud is very entertaining. I love boats. One thing I'm sad about is at Bass Pro Shop, they don't let you go on the boats anymore. At least not this one. They used to be able to go up and walk around on the boats and hang out and stuff. And
No, you can go on them.
no, they had ropes up, and you could get an assistant to come and help you.
Nope. There were people getting in them.
Well, then they were people breaking the rules.
Probably.
Because I never break rules.
I know. As we all know, he's a rule follower. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Michael McIntyre says, found our cart on Craigslist in Palm Springs. Get a Can-Am Maverick. They're too small. They're real low. They're for smaller people. Honestly, they're I've ridden one out in the dunes, in near Death Valley. They're fabulous. They're incredibly great performance machines. We don't need it for that because we're not going to be doing high-speed dune running. We're going to be doing some trails and stuff, some backcountry kind of stuff. And I found that at least for the way I look at it, the Can-Ams are better they're for like high-speed,
It's freezing in here.
in the desert, sand, shrub, not for like narrow trails and stuff like that. And honestly, what I really want to do is I'd like to get an old, like, what are they called? Easy Go golf cart and actually do the lift thing on it myself. Anyway. Let me catch up here on the comments. Matt says, I just put a fold-down back seat in my cart. I use it for running around neighborhoods and down to the boat dock. Yep. Negus, just subscribed. Tracker will sell a lot. Yeah, I bet they will.
Yep.
Paul St. Marie says, ripping on a Raz can also shoot back at you. You need hold downs and the anti-kickback pawls adjusted right.
Yep.
And Barbecue 76 says, the only tool in my grandfather's shop that I wasn't allowed to use as a kid was the table saw. To this day, I've never seen the kickback being discussed. I'm going to consider myself lucky. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's... in fact, I won't use a table saw that doesn't have a kerf knife on it. The pawls and stuff I don't think are as necessary. But depending on who else is in the shop, like usually my table saw is facing like a wall or something, and if it got a hold of something that sent it into the wall, I wouldn't lose sleep over it. But I'm more worried about it. The kerf blade is what really is going to prevent that kind of kickback, because it's when the workpiece twists and the blade coming up catches it, lifts it, and throws it.
Yep.
And the kerf blade keeps it from that twist from happening.
Yep.
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 Yeppers.
Yep.
Let's see here. God says, I have a RTV 1000cc for around the ranch here. They're slow, but they're awesome. AZ heat, completely enclosed cab and diesel. It'll run all day on a tank of fuel. Wow, that sounds like quite a rig. Ronald Smith says, get yourself a Suzuki Samurai or a Kia Sedona. They're real cheap, easy to fix. You can get it. Here's the problem with the Suzuki Samurai. Everyone knows about them now. And lots of people do mods to them and whatnot. And you can't pick one up for as cheap as you used to, because there's people buying them up, down, left, and right. There are a few other setups. And I've looked at that. I'm a Jeep guy from way back in the day. I used to have a CJ7. In fact, I almost bought Duramax. Just subscribe.
Duramax. Oh, it was an X. Sorry, I need glasses.
Yeah, you do. 15 minutes, by the way.
Yep.
So when I bought my Jeep, it was an 84 CJ7.
Oh,
the Suzuki. Don't you have someplace to be?
I've just heard these stories. 150 years.
Anyway, the Suzuki Samurai had just come out, and I actually went to take a look at it because I got a thing for... We both actually do. We both have a thing for boxy vehicles. And that little Suzuki was really cool looking. And I think it was 18 at the time when it came out. I went to take a look at it, and it was just too tiny. And that got me thinking, well, what about an actual Jeep? And I went and looked at the Jeep, and I found an 84 CJ7 at a price I could afford. And I love that vehicle. One of my favorite vehicles I've ever owned. And I've owned over 70 vehicles. So that I love that little Jeep. I'd love to have one again. But they're another thing that just, they get really pricey. And the nice thing is with these, But these kind of, like the golf cart kind of stuff, they're a lot more convenient for just walking out, jumping into, and running down to the store. They're very open. In a small community like we live in Montana, it's a lot. We got a lot of kids playing on the street, stuff like that. It's easier to be able to see and stuff like that. And I just feel it's more convenient than having an actual, full on, highway legal vehicle. Let's see here. As Rodman said, 15 minutes. Can you give my mom, Virginia Dean, a shout out?
Yes, Ground Zero said, my mom says hi, we love your videos. And then he wants to give a shout out to his mom.
Hey, Virginia.
Hi.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Rodman says he hasn't. I haven't heard them.
I don't know what that means.
You know what the other one is that besides the Suzuki Sidekick is the Raider, the Mitsubishi Raider. That's another fun one. I also had an Isuzu Trooper, a 4-door Isuzu Trooper. Talk about a boxy little truck. That thing was so much fun to drive. I love that. I had to give it up when I moved to San Francisco, though. I had 4 vehicles at the time, and I needed to pare it down. Maybe a golf cart with a Predator engine. I've been thinking about it. I really have. I thought that'd be a fun project to do.
Barbecue 76 says, you're making me miss my Scout more. Hashtag not a Jeep thing.
Oh, the Scouts are... I love Scouts. I really do. And I'm a big fan of International Harvest. The Travelals, I absolutely am in love with those. But trying to find a good one that isn't just completely rusted out that somebody doesn't want a fortune for is next to impossible these days.
Ground Zero says, love you guys, she says.
Yay!
And Jay, okay, how do I say this? Jay Bedome? Bedome? Anyways, got a 94 Jeep XJ chilling out in the garage.
Oh, yeah.
Barbecue 76 says, I also miss my Comanche and J200.
Man, I had a chance to buy a Jeep.
Sorry. Finish your story.
I'm trying to remember. It was the Jeep. Oh, the Jeepster. And I hemmed and hawed too long on it, and it got sold out from underneath me, and I still regret that to this day.
Echo Belkin says his mom is in the RV market class. See any tips we should be looking at?
Oh, I can tell you all sorts of stuff about RVs.
You've come to the right place.
Have you ever?
We love RVs, and we've done a lot of research.
So, as you heard, I grew up going to, traveling in RVs. My family, we started in a Class B, Class C, went to bigger Class Cs, eventually moved to Class A's. Actually, no, that's not true. My grandparents started with an Airstream.
Okay.
Then to Class C's, then to Class A's. We had a Class A. One of the first things we did was we went to an RV show together.
You and I? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't mean us and them.
Well,
we should take them.
Yes.
We go to them for fun.
Yes, because that's the kind of people we are.
Yeah.
Actually, we were looking at them, and Eleanor's dream is to have an RV, like her
To
own.
live in, like a tiny
Right.
house kind of concept.
So, but I'm realizing that the way that it was written, I misunderstood what he was asking for. Basically, his mom is in the RV market looking for a Class C, but it was SEE rather than C. So, any tips for people looking for Class Cs? How big?
Yeah, the first question you want to say is how big and how is it going to be used? Is it something that's going to be used infrequently? Is it something that's going to be used all the time? Are they going to live out of it? We're talking
How many
about
people are going to be in it?
When we retire, we're pretty much going to live out of our RV, except for the summer, which will be in Montana, using that as a home base, and then traveling the rest of the time. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
We'll say hopefully it's happening.
It's happening. We bought ours used from one of the rental companies, and we got a great deal on it, and had a full service record and everything. And for what it was, I think we got a really good deal. Yes. Snickerdoodle.
Barbecue 76 said, my 8-year-old just bounced out into the garage and said, you're watching something alive. I can tell because of the comment stream. Spoken like a true 8-year-old. Griffin would definitely say that. Sorry. But,
Oh.
we missed out on the 20
We missed
bucks.
out on doing the billing. We missed out on $20.
But we're still here for you.
Yeah.
You could still send $20, but no.
Yeah, Winnebago they're fantastic, but they're very high-end, high-priced. If you want low maintenance, don't get anything with a slide out. If you want something with a lot of livable space, get something with a slide out. You also need to figure out whether she is going to be okay with how she's going to do the leveling, because a lot of them have self-leveling, but it's a lot more expensive. But as somebody who's older, they may not want to get out and do the self-leveling jacks and all that kind of stuff. Then it comes down to also like climate. Make sure the air conditioner can keep up with where she's at. Here in Vegas, most people AC can't keep up with Vegas in the summer. If you're someplace south where it gets hot, don't buy a dark colored RV. If you're someplace up north, maybe consider buying a dark colored RV. And always registered in Montana.
That's right. Sorry. Congratulations on the billings being done. Barbecue 76. Also, me and my 8-year-old are the only ones left in the house awake, and I'm gonna ring in the new year with him. I'll be back in about 15 minutes because after the new year, he's going to either just go back to bed or back to his games. I haven't decided yet.
That's gonna be me too.
Spoken like a true parent as well. Dave Lewis says a guy near me is filling his yard with flat fendered Willys Jeeps.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Matt said Predator engine swaps are popular with the golf cart mod crowd. There are companies that make all kind of performance parts for them. Yeah, I've seen that. Here's a question for you. Is there any one forum site that you read up for that? Because I've seen a few of them, and I'd like to start spending more time drilling down on one of them that has probably the best content. So if you have a recommendation as to the best forum site for people doing those kind of things, let me know. Toolhead said it'd be nice to build even a small buggy with a Predator engine too. I need to start looking for a project. There's one guy, I can never remember the name of his channel. He does mostly welder videos, and he was like the first guy to do the titanium welder and stuff like that. And he did the whatchamacallit. He did a Predator engine swap in an old it was going to be junked Chinese ATV, and he's turned it into like sort of like a mule kind of platform. It's really cool. Are you going to be traveling? Maybe you can come to Fairborn, Ohio, and set me and Mom have a cookout. My daughter would love to go to Ohio.
She is obsessed with
I have no idea why, but she is for some reason.
5 minutes.
Some reason obsessed with Ohio. I don't know if we're going to make it that far. I would like to next summer. I don't know if I've mentioned to you. I really wanted to take everyone to Iowa and maybe over to the Quad Cities. Maybe Chicago. I don't know if... See, here's the problem. Last time we went to Nebraska, but we only went to western Nebraska, and I really wanted to go to Omaha because I used to live in Omaha, just outside of Omaha.
The lighting here is off.
And then if I'm like going to Omaha, well, then I got to go to Des Moines. And if I'm in Des Moines, we might as well do the Quad Cities. If we're in the Quad Cities, Chicago's right there. You got to go to Chicago.
I almost made it to Chicago.
If we're in Chicago, well, Indianapolis is just a few hours down the road. Well, if you're in Indy, you got to hit Cincinnati. Next thing you know, we're traveling through Kentucky and going to Pigeon Forge.
Yes, you should take me there. So, and Toolhead, I just want to say I am super sorry that I missed your comment.
She's very mean.
Don't listen to him. I'm super sorry I missed your comment, and I'm glad that Jeff got it. And Echo, it sounds cool. It says, thanks for the tips. I just want her and my dad, and they want to travel. Why register in Montana? It's just cheaper. Rodman,
See if we don't got
I'm
that.
a tax man.
There's no sales tax in Montana. And a lot of people who buy RVs or exotic cars, super like high-end cars, will set up a LLC in Montana, which is also cheap to do, and then register the vehicle through the LLC in Montana to avoid paying local sales tax. We often get accused of doing that, and we point out the fact that no, we actually have a house in Montana, and my driver's license is from Montana, and
Yeah.
I vote in Montana, so.
Echo says, Ohio isn't that bad. I mean, we do have Cleveland.
That's why Ohio's that bad.
Goober.
Have you seen Cleveland?
3 minutes.
There's a reason they call it the Cleveland Browns. Just saying. Don't register in California. Taxman will track you down to the end of time. Ain't that the truth?
I see you, daughter of Ra. Welcome
Where is
back.
she? Is she hiding?
She just sneaked back in.
Yeah.
Nobody noticed her.
Did you
She
bring
just
snacks for
sneaked
the
back
rest
in.
of the group? Huh?
Yeah. Did you bring popcorn? Did you bring snacks? Bacon?
Buggies Unlimited.
Drinks?
That's a good site. Okay, I'll check that one out. Echo says, thanks for the tips. It would just be her and my dad. They want to travel. Why register? Okay, that's when you're... You know what? Also look at Super Class B. If it's just the two of them. A lot of people, older retired people who maybe want something smaller, they've got... The Class B has really become something kind of cool. Don't forget Walmartville on the way home. Yes, Joe. If we go out that far, we will definitely swing by.
I feel like all of a sudden I'm like a cheerleader. Whee!
More like a Cheerio.
Hi-ho, Cheerio.
Yeah, that's definitely what I was saying.
Yeah.
The quite correct. That song just sort of jumped into the queue.
Yes, the tax man. I was thinking it in my head though.
Yep. Artie Mike, it's illegal in many states. The revenue will track you down. Well, that's to say, if you're lying about it. For us,
We're not.
Dara, I can do popcorn but no bacon. Aw.
What?
The Drew Carey Show was set in Cleveland, so it can't be all bad. So not a fan of Drew Carey.
Aw. Hey, Barbecue 76. Thank you so much.
See you next year.
Bing, 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 bing.
All right,
Yes.
50 seconds and counting.
I will see you next year.
Do you have a favorite set of tool bags for framing and other accidental? Hold on. Hold that thought. 30 seconds. You look like a demented walrus.
In other news. What else is new?
All right. 40 seconds. I know
You
it's
mean
just
20 seconds.
20 seconds. 40 seconds after. 20 seconds till. Oh my gosh. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy New Year!
Should old acquaint... I don't know the words. Give me a kiss. I love you. Thank you for spending New Year's with me.
Absolutely.
And thank you all for spending New Year's with us. You hear it? Wait.
Oh.
And there go the fireworks. If you don't know, fireworks are a big thing. They do them off the top of the hotels over the Vegas Strip. So I had thought about going up in the hills and setting up a live stream. It is too much work and too cold. Sorry.
Wait, Sam Smith still has an hour to go. Where are you, honey? Did you... Oh. You're in Alaska?
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Favorite tool bag. I use the Voyager stuff from Harbor Freight. They're super inexpensive. They've got what I always think of as the old gator mouth. I don't know if they started it, but they had that saying for the kind of, where it's got the wire frame and the bag opening kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're inexpensive. They hold up just fine, and I use them for all sorts of stuff. She even uses them.
Oh my goodness. Echo says that his mom, She's all about large things, but she drives a Prius, which is hilarious when she takes the Danes to the vet. I'm assuming they mean Great Danes. That would be pretty funny.
They can hear the fireworks from the strip.
Aw, daughter of Ra, you should go kiss
Aw.
Steve.
You can still
Steven.
kiss him. That'd
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah.
Wassalia, Alaska. It's 3:01. We're late.
Wait, how are we late?
I don't know. Because where he is? I don't know.
Okay.
Rodman. Whee!
Okay, what is that? Oh, that's a volcano?
I think it's volcano or fireworks or something like that.
Ah.
Well, it says the volcano. I have bad news for you all. That's the end of the show for tonight because I'm going to go to sleep. I'm so tired.
Yep.
Thank you all for joining us and spending your New Year's with us. We feel very blessed to have friends and family like you guys. Wait, who is it? Don't move. He's awake?
Yeah, he wanted to come out and say...
And the dog. Is that dog?
Yep.
Fire!
Duncan?
Yeah.
Hey! Come here.
Hey!
Happy New Year.
It's a big bear.
Yeah.
Justin, you want to say hi to everyone?
Hello.
It's the big bear.
The Big Bear, a.k.a. Mad Bad Bear.
Yeah.
Shots were fired outside.
He's been doing some
Oh,
No.
you saw the fireworks?
fireworks. Could you see
Yeah.
him from your
Oh,
room?
no, but I
We
heard
weren't
that.
in
Yeah.
our room. They were behind the house anyways.
No. No, they're down that way.
They're over there.
They're down that way.
They're over there.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Welcome to my life. Every day. Every minute. Yeah.
I love you guys. Anyway,
Yep.
that's all
Love
from
you,
all
dude.
of us.
Happy New Year.
I hope your
Love you.
2020 is better than your 2019.
Yep.
I hope ours is as well.
Baby Yoda.
And baby, yeah. And Baby,
Baby
Yoda. Anyway, you all take care. God bless. Happy New Year. And as always, shine on. 2 hours for Hawaii. Yeah, not going to happen. Happy New Year.
Sorry. Love you.
Love you all.
Love Hawaii.